I don't have a clever song. I guess I did my homework wrong, but this is that call-in show, and that is all you need to know. Calling in now. I feel like that was good enough.
That was a good one.
It's better than they deserved. Just kidding. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm kind of kidding. I'm getting all my stuff up because right before this, I was actually working on my driving simulator VR stuff, and I kind of let the time get away from me. So,
That sounds fun.
yeah, it is. It's a lot of there's a lot of like tech side of it to get everything working. That like the 90th time you initialize and you still don't have an apps INI in the folder, and you're like, "Grr." Gets annoying. But hi everybody. We are Pluribus. Have you watched Pluribus yet?
No, my podcast co-host recommended that we do it, and I don't know anything about it.
So good. So goddamn good that it's like super good. Uh I'm Jimmy Snow. This is Luxander, and we'll debate you. If you are MAGA, we'll debate you. If you voted for Trump, we'll debate you. Because realistically, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So
What
true.
the fuck is wrong with you? I'm going viral on threads.
Oh, really? I still don't have one. Should I have one?
I don't know. Do you want one?
Not really.
You're probably happier without it, but it probably is good for like business, for our
That's true.
jobs.
Yeah, you were like, "Hey, we have this event. Can you guys go to this Threads page?" And I was like, "I literally can't even look at it without having an account." So, for business purposes, it might be useful.
I
Why
am
are you
just
why are you famous there? What happened?
just like one viral post. I guess there was another one kind of viral in the last couple of days. I'll just read it to you. Well, I have a banger one that isn't quite viral, but I'm enjoying it because there are people who unironically don't get that it's irony.
Okay.
That's a fun sentence if you think about it. By the
I
way,
try not to.
a little reminder to people who maybe weren't here when this happened. You can now leave us a voicemail at 386 atheist. However, you will have to learn how to spell the word atheist, which I've noticed a lot of atheists don't know how to do.
True.
So if you just sound it out, like the house is blue, ist, right? Like therapist, THEIST. Get rid of the R in there. Is that all you have to get rid of? No, certainly not. There's a P in there you don't need, and just an A. Get rid of
This is
the
like
A.
adorption. You're doing adorption right now.
Okay.
You know, it's like if you take the word abortion and you cross out this letter and that letter, then it becomes adoption, but they did it in a
Oh,
stupid way. So adorption.
yeah. Anyway, do that, and you can if you want. And if you're too scared to fight us, but you have a thought for us, you can do that there. Here's what I think was my most banger thread of the last few days, but it's not going quite viral. I am very offended by the lyrics of Joy to the World. As I have learned from Republicans and Elon Musk, women are adult human females or people with wombs. How dare the woke Christians include the line, let earth receive her king? This is disgusting gender ideology, and I'm not standing for it. If the earth doesn't have a womb, it isn't a woman. I am tired of woke Christian pronoun bullshit. That one's a
Solid.
banger. Thank you.
Yep.
That one's a banger. And there is an unfortunate number of comments who don't get it.
That's very funny. It seems like you get dumb rage bait pretty easily over on threads.
Well, now let's talk about which ones of my threads are going a little viral right now.
Mm.
I think you're gonna argue. What are you saying? Are you saying that I might be rage baiting over there?
No, not at all.
I have never heard such an accusation. Wait, where did that other good one go? I had another good one recently that was doing pretty good on him. I was gonna go my second. I had two that was going pretty big. Well, shit. Well, the one that's right now going viral, it's actually surprising when some go viral because it's literally just like my actual regular thoughts, and those don't usually go viral. Usually you have to say like some crazy ass shit. to
Hmm.
go viral. Man, where's that other one though? I want the other one. There was a guy who was like proudly doing blackface in 2025. Like, my guy, get out of
Yeah.
here. But all I wrote was Donald Trump screaming that health insurance premiums are skyrocketing because of the Democrats, like he doesn't literally possess all three branches of government. He never intended to help you, MAGA. He wanted power, money. He has it. He hates you. So
True.
that's it. Yeah, yeah. Nowhere near as my most recent banger. I just called the police because my neighbor was giving his son a haircut, but gender affirming care is illegal in Texas. I've been assured they'll be going to prison for life, and the son is being sent to Venezuela.
Hell
You're
yeah.
not allowed to give your kids haircuts. That's gender affirming care, you assholes. No more haircuts.
Yeah. Only long hair for everybody.
Oh, I liked this one was taken off, getting a lot of rage bait response comments. No one has ever earned $1 billion, not one person. People,
I'm sure that there were lots of very smart interlocutors on that one.
and then the people, oh my God, you want to know that actually who's worse in those comments than MAGA?
Mm.
Unironically, not even joking. What about Taylor Swift?
Swifties,
Correct.
calm down.
Correct. Taylor Swift is not an ethical billionaire. Taylor Swift is evil for being a billionaire and some other things, but mostly the billionaire thing. What about Taylor Swift? I raise you, what about Taylor Swift?
Truly.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Swifties, like, I got an ass full of ass you can eat. Anyway, our phone number, hopefully not for the Swifties, is 336-543-2101. 336-543-2101. There's also this crazy lady in Texas who is like, I don't know if you've seen her. What's her name? Is it I can't remember her name. She's running for a congressional seat and she is making some of the most unhinged, like anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant, save your daughters from getting raped from Mohammed. Like that's literally a line from one of her recent things. It is absolutely fucking wild. Yes, you're quite right, David Haxer. No more haircuts. That's gender affirming care, and that's gay. Super, super gay.
I haven't heard of this lady in Texas, but I did just see a post that I don't look close enough at things sometimes to be like, is this AI? I don't know. But apparently it seems like we're about to start the real Hunger Games. Like this video that I saw on Blue Sky. That was AI. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like there's no
joke.
fucking way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I just don't pay attention anymore. So I was like, that seems very silly.
It actually would have been really funny if it was a joke and not AI. If Donald Trump had like noticed the moment and been like, what if I just went out and announced the Hunger Games? Anyone would that not be so fucking funny? Nobody? Stephen Miller.
Yeah, if you were smart enough to be clever.
Stephen Miller's mad it's a joke. I mean, he does things occasionally that are quite funny, but the rest of everything is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Like the plaques thing he did this week is so fucking stupid. Donald Trump is so fucking stupid. Do you know what news I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
They put up new official plaques under the portraits.
Wait,
in the
was
White
that real?
House.
The Barack Obama one?
That's all real. The Joe Biden one's real. That stuff's all real. And he made his own, he wrote the plaque. So he's like, Donald Trump is the most successful president with the biggest penis. And then it's Barack Hussein Obama was the most divisive president. Has the audacity to list off like one-term senator, community organizer. It's suggesting that politically he is not qualified, but remind me what office Donald Trump held before he was president. Like, you fucking redacted piece of shit. Also, I'm upset because my alternate slur redacted is about to be like unuseful because tomorrow is the 19th and we're going to be talking about shit being redacted in its normal sense for like a long time, for at least a while. So no one's going to know I'm insulting them when I call them redacted, because they're going to assume I'm just talking about the Epstein files, which we're already getting like early leaks of information that they're going to be super goddamn redacted. So
your options for insulting people are just getting more and more limited. Isn't that terrible?
I'm going to have to go back to the old slur. By the way, Donald Trump called Tim Walz a couple weeks ago a serious redact, but not redact, the R
Oh,
word. And now I'm just like, I'm so sad because I'm not willing to put in the work to get famous enough to be noticed by Trump before he dies. Cause that's like any day now. That guy is on death's door.
sure.
That dude is dying. I've seen his hand. He's getting infusions of adrenochrome or some weird shit that will turn out to have been an Alex Jones conspiracy in the past about the left and then be true of the right, is what we're finding out. Pedophile rings. Weird shit like that. Anyway, Donald Trump, I can't remember where I was going with it. So I'm just going to start the rumor that he's gay. Oh, I want to be called unseriously redacted by Donald Trump. I
That
want
would
to
be
be
pretty
called,
fun.
if Tim got called seriously redacted, they seriously redacted. Yo, do you ever just wake up and go like, he's the president. Like we technically elected him. I didn't vote for him, but I participated in the process by which he became president.
Hmm?
Somebody's suggesting petard. I don't like the tard. So I feel
Yeah,
like at that point
that's the
you
hard
just
R
got to
part
go
of
the
the word.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Never throw a hard tard. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
MAGA, I will defeat you all in debate. I'm just gonna go hard at it this time. 33654 32101. I'm gonna thread that. Hey MAGA, why are you so mad?
I haven't gotten to yell at anybody in
Is
a little
it
bit.
because I
So I want to
can
yell at somebody.
beat all of you in debate? That's gotta be it. Prove me wrong. Call me and let's debate now. +1 dash 336 dash, whoops, my numlock's not on. +1 dash 336 dash 543 dash 2101. And then I'll put a link to the actual episode in the following thread because I think that's better for the thing. Y'all are scared, is what I know. You're scared.
So scared.
You guys are scared because no, you can't win. You can't win. MAGA can't win a debate ever. You can't win a debate ever. Dude, the last night too, did you watch his fucking unhinged crazy speech?
No.
I gotta tell you, we talked about it in the podcast, so I don't want to give away too much because I want people to watch The Line as a podcast tomorrow. But the amount of absolute unhinged utter bullshit. Now, I will be the first to admit, I'm glad I didn't post about it. Oh shit. I got this thing I gotta turn that on because otherwise you'll see the reflections when I secretly watch porn while the show's going. I was wrong. And I'm glad I didn't post my prediction yesterday. I thought Donald Trump, you know who I agreed with yesterday was Tucker Carlson.
That's crazy.
I had the thought independent of him, and then I saw that he essentially said the same thing. I thought Donald Trump was going to announce the war with Venezuela last night. Because the Epstein files are about to be released. I thought he was going to go unhinged with the announcement to distract from. Thank you, David. You are getting so many hashtag Team Luxes as though
Yes,
it matters.
thank you.
On the show. David, you're awesome.
Speaking of hashtag Team Lux, watch out for the new mugs
Ooh,
coming
they're
out
coming.
soon.
They're coming. They're coming. Do you have yours yet?
No, it's supposed to be here Saturday.
Cool. Okay, so I thought he was going to announce the war because, you know, fucking we're about to release the Epstein files. It seems like it's not going to be good. I thought it was going to be a distraction. Instead, he just decided to just sit up there and go, guys, things are going great. Please believe me. Why does nobody believe me about all the great things I've done? And my God, he was unhinged with the lies. The man just lied and then lied and then lied and then lied.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
I have one thing.
It was an unhinged amount of absolute stupidity. Andrew, I don't know which sentence I said when you saying you tuned in on something weird. Was it never drop a hard tard? Because that one's probably quote of the day that I'm going to get letters about. It's hardly disgusting that. Hey, love of my life, would you please bring me my bottle of what looks like cum water the electrolyte water. If you wouldn't
Yum.
mind, I think it's on the kitchen counter. It's just plain like it's electrolyte salt with no flavoring.
I got a
And it
lemon lime one, and it is just like taking medicine. You just kind of have to do it.
so I can't do artificial sweeteners,
Mm.
and I can't do a lot of fruits.
Oh,
And
okay.
so even the naturally flavored ones, of which there are very few,
Mhm.
that have no artificial sweeteners, those ones are kind of hit or miss. Um, and I can't. So I literally drink Redmond sea salt is what is in the water.
Nice.
I thought it was on the kitchen counter. It might be by my other computer in the like right there. You see it there? If not, if you just wanted to be the loveliest and make me another bottle of it, it would be wonderful. Does it look like cum? Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, is that it? That's all I have left. Can you make me another one, please? Thank you, dear. Uh, it do be kind of looking like cum. MAGA can't debate, even though they're so irate. They just talk a load of shit, but they can never back up it. MAGA is nonsense. MAGA is silly. MAGA pretends Trump has a big willy, but we all know the truth. We stepped up in the booth. We voted against him, but Elon Musk bought the election. I need a guitar.
How does that translate to views? Do we get more views when you're singing or less?
I don't think I could handle knowing the answer to that. I don't think I think either way would be a problem to me. I don't
Sure.
think, yeah. Yeah. I know there's gonna be somebody who in the live chat will say something stupid like, how come the song goes kind of hard? And I'm just like, bro, shut up. No, it doesn't. And then there are gonna be other people who are like, if Jimmy never sang ever again, that would be okay. And I'll be like, bro, shut up. It's gonna be the same response to either of them.
That's
It's
fair.
not that I can't eat fruit totally, but right now I can't eat much, and certain sugars that are in fruit. Um, is wait, when was I rude to my girlfriend? Someone said I was rude. Was
I
I?
think you just asked her to do something, and people take issue with that sometimes.
Oh, I mean, I'm literally paying her right now she's the producer. In a lot of ways, getting me this water is my job.
Listen, emotionally and physically supporting your hosts is part of the producer job. Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Like we have to make the show happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we got room for you. If you want to call in right now and you are MAGA and you disagree with us on we're leftist, we're atheist. Lux is doing the gender nonsense.
God,
Uh,
crazy.
um, oh, I'm myself. Oh, I want to just
I
be
know.
comfortable existing. Oh, gay,
Cringe.
gay.
Gay and cringe.
The way I almost said the F slur. Um,
It's like I wouldn't mind, but YouTube probably would.
I satirically have to now move to Rumble. Sorry, guys. I fucked it up. I fucked it up, and we're on Rumble now. By the way, Samsung is like pushing Rumble. Let me see if it's doing it right now. When I went to on my other TV, I hit the home icon, and it gives you like the ads of shit it wants you to do. Uh, and this is not the home screen on the other one, so I don't know where it would be on here. But just hitting like the home thing where the little thing on the bottom comes on, it's
Mm,
got like a big ad for Rumble, the free speech platform. And that
wow.
made me want to rumble my Samsung TV out the window.
Stick it in a boulder tumbler.
Stop pretending Republicans like free speech. Hi, Ari. I am not succeeding at getting calls the way you do right now. We've got, I think, just a leftist on, and we'll probably talk to the leftist, but right now, I really want to get, hey, abortion is dope. It is based. Trans is tight. What else is good? Free healthcare. Donald Trump is the reason why your healthcare premiums are exploding right now.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't to say the Democrats don't have some fucking blood on their hands, but oh my God, Chuck Schumer, you're so brave. You were so brave in not in letting the fucking shutdown end to get a guaranteed vote by the 15th, what they put off, which they put off until the 15th, and then what happened? Oh, we got nothing out of it. We got nothing. I believe Ari is going to, in the future, be the routine Sunday host. Oh, and Adeline is here. Oh my God. All my co hosts and friends are showing up, and we don't have a single MAGA to call in and debate because they can't. MAGA can't debate. You guys suck, dude. You guys are just. I take a couple of days off. I've got bronchitis, guys. I'm still technically at the end of it if I sound a little wheezy. And every now and then I'm going to have to mute the mic to give it a nice little. Because that's how I cough, like the Tasmanian devil. But anyway, yeah, what was I talking about? What was my Trump shit that I was just shitting all over? I don't know. MAGA can't debate though.
That's true.
When are you
Did
guys?
you know that Oregon is probably going to get universal health care?
That's cool. Do you think they'll actually get it? Because Colorado was close, and then some dirty shit got it shut down.
I mean, if they pull dirty shit, then dirty shit happens. But it seems like even if the legislature doesn't take it up, then we can put it on a ballot measure. And so basically, like, even on the worst case scenario timeline, we probably are going to see a plan in place in 2030 or so.
Oh, Hakeem's not going to call back in. Someone said Jimmy looking right for a Hakeem beatdown. Lol, where's he at? Hakeem got absolutely wrecked, and then just went to Threads and was like, I just beat him easy. And my response every time he was posting was like, all right, cool. Everybody go watch and just decide for yourself. He was like fully like, please believe me that I won. And I was like, I'm comfortable with anybody watching and making their own, drawing their own conclusions. To tell you the truth, I would have been fine with MAGA going and drawing their own conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, I won because Jimmy hung up. What the fuck? Somebody said the weirdest fucking shit on. Somebody replied to my threads. Hey, are you in chat right now? The person who wrote, I'm going to suck your toes so hard you fucking die.
That is very weird.
I'm not in the foot shit, but I do like a challenge is the problem.
Just like drain all of your blood or something. Like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, MAGA, where you at? You can't debate. I know the truth. I'm going to put it on my viral thread.
There's a MAGA. Trans right here. Tell me to my face what you think of me.
If you could debate, you would call debate me now. All right. Yeah, Hakeem was bad. Hakeem was the one who said, I lost because I hung up on him, but I literally hung up on him after I gave my answer, asked him for a response, and he went, I wasn't listening. And so I went, all right, bye.
Yeah, like you're not going to respect the conversation, then I'm not going to keep you here.
I hung up the phone, but you hung up the convo. Like, what's the fucking difference? What high horse? Anyway, Hakeem was a below average interlocutor. I think that's the problem is like, it's not just that like Hakeem lost. It was that Hakeem wasn't good. And so much like Trump, he just goes and talks about how good he is and he never is good. By the way, have you been seeing any posts from this alleged highest IQ holder guy?
I was recently told that I'm regarded as the dumbest contributor on the line, but I don't know if that's the same person.
What? Okay, this isn't about the line, but who said that?
I guess it's somebody who's been trying to get Javon to debate. I don't know, but they were like commenting on one of my movie reviews about me being trans. And I was like, go to my other fucking channel to grief me about being trans. I'm not going to do it here. And then they ended up telling me, yeah, I think I called them stupid. And then they were like, what? You can't say that to me. You're widely regarded as the dumbest person on the line. And I was like, it must be a trip for the dumbest person on the line to think you're a fucking moron.
Widely regarded, it suggests that this conversation exists somewhere.
Yeah, like the people are talking about it.
And I've seen the conversations. I'm widely regarded as the dumbest person on the line. I first of all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Everybody basically, I mean, like I'm regarded as the person who is an expert of nothing. So I just got a bunch of experts in and then I just parrot what the experts say. It is funny though, because I had set a comment to that end recently and I was like, bro, if you knew the number of metaphors that Forrest has stolen from me, because this guy was like a huge Forrest fanboy, and I'm literally like, I'm just not on as much as Forrest. Every time I do a show with Forrest, I use a metaphor and I hear Forrest use it within like a week. That dude is a metaphor thief.
Mm-hmm.
You guys tell him I said so. I'm calling him out, but I love him. I'm very honored to have my metaphor stolen by Forrest. He's clearly much smarter than I am. Um, God, that's so annoying too, dude. Like how fucking smart Forrest is so fucking annoying. And like, I'll call him and I'll be like, "Hey, I had a question about this," and he'll just give me the full comprehensive answer, like a dick. Like,
Yeah.
don't explain it to me like I can comprehend on your level, asshole. Don't speak to me like an equal, you absolute fucking dick. Talk down to me. I am not as smart as you bitch.
I'm gonna find out tomorrow if I can hold my own. I have not done a show with Forrest before, so I'm excited to get to do that on a Cause I Wanna.
It's not hard to hold your own with Forrest. You just have to know when to. There are things I'm clearly better at debating than Forrest is. And then there's times I also have to say Forrest, like, "Hey, you remember how we're doing a show about abortion and you just took an educated person on evolution call?" There's that kind of thing. Like, not the show, Forrest, chill. But Forrest is smarter, is more intelligent about Forrest's expertise on evolution, and then like certain expertise he has on things he's just interested in is more advanced than probably anything I have any interest in. Like that's what's fucking annoying about Forrest, and I hate him for it. People think
I don't
I'm
know what
kidding.
he does to
Genuinely,
afford all
I
the school
resent
that he
him.
does. That's the thing is I'm like,
think
I
it's
would know
this.
at least half as many things if I could afford to go to fucking college.
I think when you're smart like that, I think it started with like scholarships and stuff from just
Oh,
being so
probably.
fucking smart.
I
And
missed
then
the
otherwise,
opportunity.
there's always student loans and school. Yeah, we're too dumb. We're too dumb for. I mean, in Wyoming, I got the Hathaway scholarship. I think it's called.
Mm,
Everybody in Wyoming, if you graduate high school with above like a 2.0 GPA, you can get some amount of state college funded by the scholarship that exists.
nice.
It sounds crazy, like wow, how'd they afford that? But there's only 7 people in Wyoming, so it's like, you know.
They can
Anyway,
spread around the love.
yeah, fucking. Not even like, yeah, someone says explain it like I'm five, but like not like when you were five, Forrest. Explain it to me like when I was five. Not like when I was five and I was solving differential equations with my abacus. Like get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. You piece of shit.
I
Anyway,
have to
MAGA.
say something. They need to hit the
Okay.
like button. Everybody who's here, we don't have any MAGA because you haven't hit the like button. You hit like, immediately more people show up. So do it. Thank you.
I had an idea, and I think I know what the end goal of the line is,
Yeah?
but I don't want to say it on air.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna text it to you. And
Oh, okay.
I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me if this makes
Lux,
you
you're
want to throw up.
frozen.
Oh,
Uh,
me froze?
Lux looks fine on my end.
It's good now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
It's been really, really windy and stuff, so there might be slight issues sometimes.
Can everyone hear the producer's voice? I'm just curious. Chat.
Everyone's just now
Hey,
saying Lux
MAGA,
frozen.
if you want to call because you're not a scared little bitch, 33654-32101. Um. Okay. I'm typing it.
Tippy type. Tippy tippy type. Yes, they could hear her.
Bruh. Bruh. That hot ass voice. My producer has the hottest voice. She's got that like little bit of breathiness to her voice. That's so fucking hot. Oh my god. The
Is this part
producer
of your
here.
foreplay? I'm uncomfortable.
The producer here. I like people not knowing. I like when people come in and they're just not quite clear and they're like, "Oh my god. It's got to be a nightmare to work for." Oh, some of the jobs I have the producer do. They're good. They're jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible. I can't believe I'm friends with you.
Anyway, did you see I sent you the
Yeah.
text.
I did. I think you're crazy, but
I think we could do it. I think we'd
I
have
see
to.
the vision, I guess.
I think we'd
You know
have
that you're
to
going to need to hire more people,
way more
right?
people. Yeah. I think we'd have to
Like,
bring on more people. I think we'd have to go international much more, much harder.
sure. Yeah.
um, but I think that would be iconic, especially if we got it out to more places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we'd have to start streaming to like Twitter to get the best callers.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah. YouTube
Because
isn't bad enough. It's not enough of a cesspool, apparently.
when YouTube is calling, they are not sending their best. They're conservatives. They support a pedophile president. And some of them, I do not assume are good people because I'm not sure a person can be a good person and a MAGA and a conservative at the same time. It seems like an oxymoron, which is what people used to call Rush Limbaugh.
Do we need a more provocative title? Do we need to
No, we got a call screening. We'll get to that
drop the
here in
R
just a minute.
slur or something? Come on.
Chat, $500 in soups, and I will drop the R slur.
In the title, though.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe more. I don't think YouTube will allow that, even if we are allowed ourselves
Censor
to
it.
say it.
Just, I mean, put a 3 instead of an E. It's not hard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What happens when the reportings happen, though? Because fucking MAGA, despite all their shit, they're also a bunch of fucking snitches. They're also like, oh, I care about free speech. Report.
Here's the thing that we can do to get around it. Put it in a form of question. Are we redacted?
Yeah,
MAGA,
is
call
good.
in.
That is good. CBS News should hire me. Aren't they ran? Isn't that who's ran by Barry Weiss now? I think.
Oh, God.
Fucking Jesus Christ. I think anything else will happen before Barry gives me a call. Okay. First of all, oxymoron being Rush Limbaugh's name, I do want to actually take us back to that joke. That joke was fucking awesome. Hilarious. And I think I deserve more credit because Rush Limbaugh was a moron. And then he also historically, after being shitty to people who like are drug addicts, got addicted to oxy.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. Second of all.
That is funny.
The guy I was talking about is Young Hoon Kim, who claims to be the highest IQ holder with a 276. And then he likes to make posts that is like, from the highest IQ holder, Jesus Christ exists. I'm Young Hoon and I have the highest IQ in the world and I am telling you that Jesus exists. Now, here's the funny thing. First of all, 276 is basically impossible to measure.
Yeah.
In fact, anything beyond 200, even approaching 200, if you buy into IQ bullshit in the first place, is basically unapproachable. 100 is meant to be like standard. And so you're talking about how many deviation, or what's the word? Above standard, normal, average,
Standard
whatever.
Deviation?
Yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, how above going to 276 is absurd. Second of all, I think it is funny when the only thing you can find of a person who says they are the highest IQ holder is essentially their claim that they are the world's highest IQ holder. If you are going to claim to have an IQ of 276, you better have a fucking unsolved math problem or have pretended to invent electric cars or something. At least be visibly autistic. Okay? This guy has nothing. The guy literally has nothing that indicates he is actually, I mean, he says he's the official world record holder, but has nothing to, you're frozen again. Just toggle your camera on and off because you're not frozen in the regular Zoom. Let's see what that does.
What does, okay, hold on. You mean on here? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, in Zoom. Just go bloop, bloop. We use Zoom to manage this shit now.
Yay.
That seems to have fixed it.
Cool.
Got to figure out what caused that. Maybe you need to enable HD. Is your HD not enabled?
I don't fucking use Zoom.
Hey, super hot, sexy producer. Oh, wait, the producer is currently also screening a call. Can't hear me. I was just going to make sure that we're recording before I take this first.
It keeps telling me that we're recording, so.
Yeah. This person thinks I don't know. No, not recording on Zoom. I need to make sure we're recording on vMix. Anyway, have enough people in chat acknowledged how good that joke was? No. All right. Well,
Rip.
It's your problem. Hey, producer, we're recording on vMix, right?
Yep.
Ooh, hot voice. Okay. Paul from Minnesota. Paul from Minnesota is calling in. Now, Paul, how did your transition go?
I don't get the joke.
Well, last time you called in as Tom, so you seem to have transitioned from a Tom to a Paul.
Both very Christian names, both New Testament. You're an astute observer.
And you seem to not remember well the fake names you're giving. All right, Paul. So you are calling in as some kind of fascist. Were you the guy who last time said you don't mind being called a fascist?
No, that wasn't me. I was talking about the transgender stuff.
So this time you're just calling in saying democracy is a failure, and so a Catholic monarch should replace it. In
an ideal scenario, yeah. But if we're being realistic, it's not going to happen. But ideally, yeah.
Why would you replace it with a system that is untrue?
I mean, do you want to talk about eschatology here, or do you not know what that word means?
I like that you're coming in and you're immediately trying to go with you haven't even actually produced. By the way, you said scatology, which by the way is the same.
Schatology, yes.
Okay, the first time you said scatology, which is literally the study of poop.
That's
anyway, eschatology. Okay. No, it is what you said. It is. But eschatology is basically just trying to sound smarter when in reality you're just saying theology. It's like the theology around what's going to happen when you die. And so it's funny that you're coming in and you clearly, excuse me, that is what eschatology means. It is very funny that you're coming in with this and going like, hey, I came in with a word that I know isn't a common word. And so before even seeing whether the host can engage on the word, I'm just going to jump to, or do you not even know what that word is? It's like a sort of intellectual bad faith game you're trying to play immediately off the bat, thinking you're going to dominate me intellectually. And you've just said nope, when eschatology is literally the theological study concerning basically what happens when you die, where your soul's going to go, whether you're going to be judged or whatever. And my question is, why would we go with an ideology that is untrue for the authoritarian government that you would like to live in?
Because your question's bad faith. If we're talking bad faith tactics, I mean, you've kind of mastered them.
So you're saying that you can prove that Catholicism is in fact true?
I can't prove to you, but I can prove to a common sense individual beyond a reasonable doubt. I would assume so. Yes.
A common sense individual would not be able to achieve beyond a reasonable doubt, because if you can only achieve common sense level, many things, especially advanced topics, go far beyond common sense. Therefore, a reasonable doubt would include going beyond common sense. And you're basically saying, if I talk to an idiot yokel, I can word game my way there. But if advanced sense comes on, like this was your argument. No, Jimmy, you will use more than common sense, so I can't prove it to you. But I can to a yokel who will only use common sense. Give us your common sense argument of the truth of Catholicism. I'm excited for it.
Okay, well, you're saying a lot here, but I would like to start something we can both agree with, right? The Big Bang Theory. It's true, right? Correct? Okay, and do you know who created the Big Bang Theory?
That's interesting that he didn't even give me time to respond.
We agree on it. No, it's there to talk about. Do you not?
But don't ask a question I'm not a prop. If you're going to ask a question, give me space to respond. I accept the Big Bang Theory.
Who created the Big Bang Theory? I
accept the Big Bang Theory as the most likely explanation for the origin of the physical universe.
And who created it?
Who created what?
The Big Bang Theory, the theory of what we all now scientifically believe to be beyond a reasonable doubt. I think
when
it's
you
like
are asking who created the Big Bang Theory, are you asking in the common sense Christian way of who did the Big Bang, or are you asking who originated?
The theory itself? Yeah, originated the thought. Yes.
There is, first of all, you wouldn't really be able to give the Big Bang Theory as it is understood now to a single origin point. However, there was some Belgian dude, but it's a lot of Edwin Hubble that is credited for the meat of it. So again, which way do you mean?
That's just not true. If you just Google, anyone here can do it. So, but you're going to cut me off because you don't want people to use Google. If they Google who created the Big Bang.
So just so everybody knows where Paul's going to get ahead of, the Belgian guy I'm referring to is that there was a priest who was involved with the origin of the Big Bang. However, again, the meat of the Big Bang Theory is credited to Edwin Hubble.
I mean, so is it not? If we all just Google the same thing, does it say Hubble or does it say the Catholic priest?
I don't know. I haven't Googled it. You're welcome to go and Google it, but a Catholic priest producing the origin, excuse me, I'm not done. A Catholic priest producing the origin of the Big Bang Theory no more makes Catholicism true than Islam is true for modern mathematics.
Well, I'd give it more to Hindus than, I mean, we use their number system. So, I mean, it's Arabic numerals, but it's created in India during the Mughal period. But that's one more conversation. So they spoke Urdu.
So we use Arabic numerals, and you understand that Arabic and Hindu are not the same, and that the Arabic numerals weren't invented in Hindu holy books.
No, but I love Ramanujan.
And your Catholic, and by the way, and similarly, your Big Bang Theory from your Catholic priest, which again in its primitive form, is not credited for our comprehensive understanding of the Big Bang remotely.
1927 isn't primitive, but sure.
Excuse me, the theory in its primitive form, if you listen to the actual words I said, you might gain a little bit of a comprehension. It is not, he did not get it out of inspiration or out of holy books. How did he get it?
I mean, all ideas come from a divinely inspired being. I mean, did Ramanujan not pray to his
How did the priest come up with the Big Bang?
If this is a gotcha, you got me. I don't know. He was divinely inspired.
So you are just coming in with fallacious arguments of it's true because a Catholic priest came up with it. And no, he wasn't divinely inspired. The Catholics have for a long time employed priest scientists, and the man was literally studied on Einstein's theory of general relativity.
Which is kind of untrue now. The later we get into more quantum mechanics, I'm sure you're aware of that, but
no, general relativity has not been made to be untrue. Again, just like by saying that, you could actually
everything.
Great. So just so you know, by your standard, then your guy whose name I just finally looked up, George Lemaitre, I don't know how you say it, George Lemaitre. Then his theory is untrue too, because it still also had primitive ideas that were refined, and certain elements of it, much like the theory of evolution. Also, we could say that, oh, well, then evolution isn't true because we have figured out genetics, the way, what's his face, Darwin talked about genetics was wrong, even though Catholics also worked on the theory of evolution. And similarly, George didn't have plenty of things right in his theory of evolution, or not evolution, but the Big Bang, for example, the rate of expansion and such. Therefore, that's not true. You have this like stupid double standard of everything, and you just want to go with Catholicism is true because a scientist who was performing science, not by divine inspiration, figured out a scientific fact, figured out something scientific. Therefore, Catholicism is true. Be so goddamn real.
That wasn't my point.
Well, no, you were supposed to be giving your common sense. You were supposed to give your common sense reason why Catholicism is true.
Well, it's hard to get a word in when you're like on this whole, like I was going to explain.
And yet the entire time you've gotten words in, you haven't been giving your common sense argument.
I'm not a prop. Well, that's
what is the deal?
Paul, you're kind of below a prop.
I really don't understand. What is the deal? It's with you, Jimmy, with Matt, and with Aaron. Men call in specifically to have whose dick is longer contests with you. Can you just fucking answer a direct question?
Or I'll pull mine out.
Because the whole time, every single time, he's given you an opportunity to answer the question he's asking, which is, give us your common sense explanation for why Catholicism is true. Every fucking thing you've said has not been that. So please now answer that question. Thank you.
Before I answer, can I ask your pronouns?
You can call me by they, them, or it, its pronouns if you would like.
Okay, it. All right, it. So before I subscribe to it, what makes sense? Because it doesn't
Actually, you don't
anything.
have permission for that anymore. You've just ruined it. It's they, them only. Go fuck yourself.
What? You don't like being called an it? Neither would I. Did I emotionally hurt you by your own definition? Like, sorry, I'm calling you what you wanted.
Answer the fucking question, you cunt. Oh my God.
Oh, we're going to use mean words? No, I don't do that.
Yeah,
That's not very, holy of you.
I don't care.
Okay,
answer the question right now.
Wait, Lux, how dare you, an atheist, do something that's not very holy of you?
Yeah. All the premarital gay sex I have is not good enough.
We've been had.
Thanks, Jimmy.
We've been had.
Thanks, Jimmy.
We've been had. Paul, where's your common sense explanation for Catholicism being true?
Okay, so it comes from the church father, because it comes to Augustine, it comes to Aquinas. And so if you read Summa Theologian, we can come to a common sense understanding that there's, first off, first unmoved mover theory, right? And so for everything,
I'm sorry. You have gone to philosophy. I was promised a common sense explanation. This is philosophy. The unmoved mover is not, by the way, a fact.
No.
It is an assertion of. It is an assertion of Catholic apologists. So now you will need to go ahead and use a common sense explanation of the unmoved mover, as in an acting conscious agent existing, and then you'll be able to get to Catholicism.
Yeah, well, it was created by a Catholic saint, for a reason. And so they're not like, you kind of have this whole thing where it's science or Catholicism. They're kind of more intertwined, and we both know that. The first hospitals were by Catholics. St. Jude, you ever heard? Oh, really?
Excuse me, that doesn't make them intertwined any more than Islam or Mormonism or anybody else who has a hospital or anybody else who employs scientists or anybody else who employs doctors.
Those cretins.
They literally have more financial assets than Catholics do. Upon what basis are they cretins and you guys are good?
You believe they have more assets than the Vatican?
You're probably right that the Catholic. You're probably right that the Catholic Church is hiding a lot of assets, but publicly listed assets, they literally do. They are better at getting money out of their membership and then investing that money than the Catholics are.
Well,
does someone smarter want to call in?
Its own nation. So, like, you're trying to assert that its own nation, which has diplomacies in every single major country.
What's their number?
So
what's the number? Yeah. How much? What are the reported assets of the Catholic Church?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head, but you're trying to tell me that when there's 1.4 billion Catholics, and you have to do tithe. You don't have to, but it's pretty much highly encouraged to do tithings. And so, like, when I'm sitting in the pews and I see me give 5 and the person next to me give 5 and the person, like, that all just goes to
Mormons give 10%. Mormons give 10% of their income, and it's a commandment.
How many Mormons are there in the world? Less than 20 million?
Yep, million.
There's 1.4
it's millions.
billion.
It's millions, and yet they are worth. The Mormon Church literally. It was recently uncovered that they have what they call their rainy day fund, and it's $100 billion because, as we've already pointed out, the Mormon Church, on top of collecting more. Boy, I'm not done talking, but you want to be able to figure that out. Not only are they capable of getting more per member, but they are also investing it, and they are using that money to make more money, and they keep it from their actual membership and don't do all that much good with it, except for that which they have to do. But anyway, it's always funny whenever it's like when the rapist talks shit about like the child molesters in a prison, when the Catholic wants to be like, oh, those Mormon cretins, they just believe in, the Bible, and that you should still have prophets because that's what the Bible said, and they believe in modern revelation.
No, that's only the Book of Mormon.
That's not. They also believe in the Book of Mormon, buddy. Guess what?
Hold on,
Paul?
Are you a Mormon?
Hey, Paul. Yes, I literally am, you fucking redact.
Holy shit. Okay, so let's talk about Mormon apologetics, because you guys are goofy. So do you believe in the Golden Tablets and Joseph Smith?
No, excuse me. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that shit. I happen to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because they refuse to excommunicate me. Literally, the answer to whose dick do I have to suck to get excommunicated, apparently the answer is that won't get it anymore if you're a public figure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. I'm sorry. Yeah, if we were okay. Yeah, so you were part of a cult, would you say? And you're kind of part of a different cult now as an atheist. You're part of a trans people are real kind of cult. Like you just switched cult.
Paul, you literally are calling in, advocating for excuse me, Paul.
2,000 plus years and apostolic.
All right, so we have to mute you again, Paul. And by the way, Mormons would say Mormonism's been around for longer because they're the actual Church of Jesus. And just in the same way that the Catholic Church doesn't resemble the church from 2,000 years ago, they are just as different. You don't have any more grounds to call it as existing any longer than they do. But anyway, Paul, since you keep saying things like you're waiting for me to respond and then not letting me actually respond, yes, I would say Mormonism is a cult. I would say Catholicism, the difference between Mormonism and Catholicism is mainstream acceptance and a tendency toward fundamental adoption. Most Catholics are lax Catholics, and Catholicism isn't as harsh if you aren't in one of the more fundamentalist parishes, aren't as harsh to the non-believers as Mormonism would be. You basically need to be all in or all out. There are areas, apparently Utah has a little bit more variance. You really can get away with a lot more in Utah than I was ever allowed to get away with. Mormonism is very much on its way to just being considered a religion, and it will mostly have to do with how many people are members as opposed to being a cult. You, however, Paul, are calling in somewhat fundamentalist-like, as well as advocating for Catholic monarchy. So within Catholicism, much like Amy Coney Barrett, you definitely have these groups of people who are themselves in a cult. And not only are you in the cult of this sort of fundamental, again, monarchical, that's probably not the way you pronounce it, fucking Catholicism, you also appear to be at least in the conservative cult, if not in the all-out MAGA cult. So one should make sure they don't live in a glass house before throwing out cult stones. Now, Paul, you are welcome to respond.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm sorry for attacking your cult. I like my cult better. Let's put it that way. Okay. Can we agree on everything's a cult unless it's based in
I don't
whatever,
agree.
I like my cult
cults
better.
are a thing, and no, I don't agree that everything is a cult.
Words
you
mean
are in
things.
the thing that is actually a cult.
Okay, if you believe that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's move forward. So why I think that democracy is failing is, let's look back into the history of this country. Did you know up until, for the first 100 years of this nation's founding, the only branch that the public could vote on was the House of Representatives. And so most things, and that's kind of why we have this idea that the Senate, which I agree with, should be expanded, because Wyoming has 600,000 people and the same amount of senatorial sway as a state like Minnesota with 5.4 million or something. We both know that's kind of stupid, but that's also.
How long are we going to have to go through this before you realize I'm a leftist? So I don't believe democracy's ever yet been attempted in America, as opposed to you going with democracy has failed. I just am wondering, how long is this preamble going to go before your script gets undermined?
See, I'm glad you can mute me and control the show, but you can cut me off when I'm trying to explain things.
You're explaining things to me that I don't need explained to me. I'm literally, by the way, a minute ago you tried to explain Mormonism to me. It's funny because great. I'm going to meet you again. A minute ago, you're whining about being interrupted, explaining to me concepts I already understand and things that are going to be irrelevant to this argument, because you're trying to get my agreement that democracy has been undermined or we've lost. I don't believe democracy has truly been attempted in this country yet. Now, a minute ago, you tried to explain Mormonism to me, not knowing you were talking to literally a Mormon. And now you're trying to explain Wyoming to me, not realizing you're talking to somebody who's literally raised as a Mormon in fucking Wyoming. And just super basic political concepts. Guess what, buddy? I wouldn't just reform the Senate. I'd abolish it. Jesus
They're not
Christ.
ready for it. They're not ready.
You're just not impressive. You're impressed. I truly you come off as the person who I get accused a lot of loving the sound of my own voice. And in reality, I find my own voice rancid. I do like to be listened to, but I wouldn't speak if the room was empty. You, I think, probably record yourself and then jerk off to it. Anyway, we have people who look like they want to engage in good faith. And to be honest, I was only using you to fill the time until we had a new debater, because you are absolutely 100% a fascist, and I don't care about fascist feelings or giving them a fair shake on this channel. And I don't mean that in the broad sense of like, oh, MAGA people are fascist. I mean, it's kind of true, but you're like an out and out advocating for Catholic monarchy fascist. So you and Hitler, you know, in fairness, Hitler didn't like Catholics except for how they enabled his Holocaust. Okay. Talking to Spencer in Florida. Spencer in Florida is calling in to give a common sense argument for Catholicism. Now, Spencer, if you could, would you also overthrow the American government in favor of Catholic theocracy, or would you hold the American Constitution in place?
You know, that's a great question. And, you know, before we start, I just want to say I'm not here to cult shame anyone, you know, whether or not, you know, you're atheist, religious. You know, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and, you know, that's kind of a cult in and of itself. We haven't fired our head coach in 20 years, and he hasn't won a playoff game. I say that to be a little bit facetious, but okay. So you asked me a question: would I overthrow the government to institute a Catholic theocracy?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think the church would want that. I think an ideal situation is to have an entire nation where people have been convinced of Catholic teaching and of their own volition vote towards Catholic principles and Catholic teaching. That's what I would give in answer to that question.
So you're at least less of a you're not so much a fascist, because you would retain separation of church and state, correct?
Yeah, you could say that.
Tight. All right, what's your common sense argument that Catholicism is true?
Okay, so here's what I would say, right? I think from looking at historical data, not data, but like, you know, eyewitness accounts, the historical credibility of the church in terms of like, you know, things that were written about Jesus that are contained in the Bible. The thing that we 100% know is that Jesus came, he started a church, and something else happened after that. And then now after that, you have to kind of think to yourself, is that church alive and current today? If so, where is it? Right. So now if we look at the early church teachings, hang on.
You know, we can go to the next stage after we work on this first stage. We 100% know that Jesus came and started a church. No, we don't. And my contention is that we don't. And you claimed the eyewitness accounts. Could you name one eyewitness who we know was present, met Jesus, witnessed his creation of a church, and wrote it down?
I mean, you don't think the writings of Paul are pretty convincing?
Paul never met Jesus.
Well, he didn't, but I guess he met people who met Jesus.
So we don't.
And
Paul,
the fact that
Paul claimed, no. Paul allegedly met the brother of Jesus, which may not have meant literal brother. It may have actually meant it in the sort of like brother of, like companion of, like follower of, claims to have. But again, you said eyewitness. So you can't call Paul an eyewitness, just in that if Luxander witnesses a murder, like what Luxander witnessed in that last call a moment ago, Luxander's account of watching that debate would not itself be an eyewitness account, right? So what eyewitness do we have their account of?
Okay, what about the Gospels? Would you say that that's not necessarily an eyewitness account then?
Correct, because Christian scholars agree that they were written decades after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the earliest 130 to 40 years, likely not by people who were actually present, and the Gospels were not actually written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those Gospels are, in fact, written anonymously. That's not coming from atheist scholarship. That's not coming from encounter scholarship. that is Catholic scholarship will agree that those were anonymously written and not likely by anybody who actually met Jesus. This is why there is inconsistencies between them, for example.
Well, I'm pretty like again, I'm not a theologian, so I'm willing to give you like some credence to that, but I'm like, was Matthew not an eyewitness?
Correct.
Like is like maybe
wait,
with like
hang on,
Hebrews
Spencer.
or
so Matthew is reported to be a person in Jesus's vicinity, right?
Okay.
But Matthew is not who wrote the book of Matthew. Again, Catholic scholarship would agree. The Gospels are anonymous. Mark did not write Mark. John did not write John. Luke did not write Luke. So eyewitness accounts, very simply.
Hold on.
Spencer, hang on. I will give it back to you in just a moment. Eyewitness accounts do not actually exist. There are contemporary accounts, possibly. Again, you already listed one, Paul, but was not an eyewitness, was a convert to Christianity. Nobody's arguing that early Christianity wasn't popping off before then. By the way, I'm not a mythicist. I don't definitively say Jesus didn't exist. However, you claimed we 100% know Jesus existed and that he created a church. And I am here to tell you, neither of those things are true. In fact, Jesus wasn't trying to really create a church, a movement, sure, but there's nothing in the writings that indicate he was trying to create, for example, the Catholic Church. In fact, there's a lot to suggest he wasn't fond of religion becoming too organized. But either way, what you asserted is simply not true, and why the common sense argument would not succeed, because we don't know that Jesus came to earth. And if anything, I would argue the evidence probably points to Jesus is a conglomerate of a lot of people's stories. His story wasn't unique at that time, and that the resurrection itself, which is kind of the most important part, there is zero evidence for. And anytime there is zero evidence for magic, the best thing to do is go ahead and say it didn't happen. So now, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, you said you're not a mysticist and you believe that Jesus really did exist. Why do you believe that?
Oh, no. I wouldn't say that either. I would say I'm agnostic to the proposition. He's clearly a historical figure, but a historical figure does not have the same burden of proof as like a scientific fact. Like water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit under the correct atmospheric conditions is a scientific fact. And we have a certain burden of proof to prove that that is true, or 100 Celsius, if you please. That burden
so do you think it
is completely different from the burden for... Do I believe what?
I was going to say, do you think it's unreasonable to believe that Jesus existed?
The individual, the preacher, the apocalyptic preacher, the whatever you want, movement leader. No, I don't care that people believe that guy exists. To believe in any of the miracles, to believe in any of the magic, honestly, to believe in any of the narrative surrounding him, even the Sermon on the Mount. You have these, what was it, 24,000? How many thousands of people were supposedly at the Sermon on the Mount, and not one of them wrote it down? I would say it's pretty unreasonable to believe most of the stories about him, but this is true of people that we do have confirmed existed, like King David. I would say there's a pretty high burden met that King David existed. However, a lot of the stories about King David are stolen from other people, and then negative things about King David are written as other people's stories. And this just happens with historical figures. So if you say, I believe Jesus Christ existed, I don't go, oh, you fucking idiot. But if you say that you believe in the magic too, I would not necessarily call you an idiot, but I'd go, all right, well, this is where your work begins.
Okay. So I feel like we're kind of going into a different argument here. I think we're now going to not whether Catholicism is true in relation to other sects of Christianity, but more of is Jesus, we're going to more of did Jesus really rise from the dead? Which I guess you can say is is kind of related to that.
Than that if you like. Because on my end, I have no problem with asserting that Catholicism isn't true, in the same way that I can assert that every religion isn't true. Gods don't exist. And it's not just that there's a lack of evidence, therefore I lack a belief in God. there's actually an abundance, more evidence than I realized in basically starting to read on the topic in the last few years of where the ideas of God come from. And so in the same way, like, I don't think you have a problem saying unicorns and wizards don't exist, right? You don't go like, I don't know, maybe. You probably say like, yeah, wizards don't exist. Dumbledore's not real, right?
I mean, you listen to Nick Fuentes enough, he might convince you on the wizards part. But yeah, sure, yeah, I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
so a reasonable person
would. Those exist. Yeah.
And the reason why we can do that is we can also track the origins of the idea of wizards, and we can see not just like when humans made them up, but kind of like why, even during the period of times that wizards actually exist. You can do the same thing with God. So in the same way you can say, I know wizards don't exist, I argue that I'm actually saying I know gods don't exist, because I do know a fair amount about God's origins, the idea of God's origins, as Christianity, if we want to start there, goes back to polytheism. By the way, Christianity was polytheistic before it was a different religion. Judaism was polytheistic. You can go over to the Middle East and see Jewish temples that have altars to other gods. So monotheism prior to that being polytheism, and then you can track it through its animist roots and basically go like, got it. We're cavemen trying to explain the thunder. That's basically where it all kind of comes from, and it's easy to sit there and go, gods don't exist. So if your contention is, well, now I just thought I could prove Catholicism exists against any or is true against any other religion, that was never my assertion. It was simply that Catholicism is untrue, and certainly it begins with because gods don't exist.
Okay, are you an anti-theist or just an atheist?
Yes, I would say I'm an anti-theist. If by anti-theist you mean that it is important to me that we actually work to remove, I would say faith more than religion, but one comes with the other. I don't know if there's a version of a religion I could say one day would be fine. I can't think of one that would be, but certainly I think that faith is actually a negative thing, a problem. I think it is a drug of what's that word? Gullibility. And so I would say that, well, I don't remember the original question, but I think I answered it.
Are you an anti-theist? Yes.
Yeah, I have bronchitis and my brain fog is crazy. Yes, I would consider myself an anti-theist, but I don't hate theists. I love theists, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely like a love the sin or hate the sin kind of perspective.
Yeah, ironically.
So do you find any value in like, okay, so here's what I'll say. Is there a way, because I guess if you look at some studies, I know there's like a Schuler and Voll study that shows that when you don't believe in free will, like it almost makes people more dishonest and act in an opposite way that people would think is moral. And would you say that religion at least plays a part in holding communities together, at least in that sense, or would you not find any value in that?
So do townships. Yeah, communities are held together by any things that are communities, of course.
There are atheist Sunday assembly gatherings where they sing and they share philosophies and people come and give guest speeches. Like, community is integral to mental health. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but my problem is that if you believe a bunch of fake things in it, then we're encouraging people to believe fake things and to organize around fake things, which is dramatically bad for society.
Okay, so I'll concede that point, right? But like, if somebody went and shot up the atheist Sunday meeting, is it morally wrong to do that, or does that just kind of make you feel yucky? And so
it is morally wrong to do that.
So then, but okay.
In what context would it not be morally wrong to go kill a bunch of people peacefully assembling?
Well, what I'm saying is that if you don't have a form of religion, right, it's really just kind of your opinion, correct?
No. Nope.
Okay, why not?
But no, but that doesn't ask. I would like to know why any situation it would be morally acceptable to kill people peacefully assembling like that. I don't know if you just stumbled over the question.
I don't think it would, because I'm religious. I don't have any inclination to do that because I'm mentally stable. but I guess you could kind of argue from like a utilitarian perspective that some ideas are so dangerous, even if they are peaceful, violence will inevitably arise among that.
And ironically, the
sacrifice
prisons
of
are
those
full of
individuals.
Christian murderers and not atheists. So I feel you that you would want to get to the bottom of this. What is morality?
I guess I would define morality, and if you have a better like a definition, please. But
Sure.
I think morality is like a set of rules that dictate, or a value hierarchy, right?
That's good. Yeah.
That's above the person itself. Would you
Oh,
think that's
no. The above the person is something that you're just inventing. So morality, it's I think the normal definition is it's a system of principles regarding that which is right and wrong, and it's to guide behavior in a way that helps cooperative living, right? So already inherent to morality would be a system which promotes cooperative living. Something either objectively is or isn't that. Brother, that's just the name of the question. That's just that's the definition of the thing. The arbitrariness of morality is a Christian injection because they want it to be arbitrary without their Christianity. But in reality, we as humans value certain things, and living cooperatively, living peacefully, not basically having just ways of living is a thing that we are born with an inclination towards. Now, whether or not you find that arbitrary or whether or not the universe gives a shit about that, it doesn't. But we're still going to be born. We're still going to breathe and suddenly be conscious. And we're going to want to live cooperatively. We're going to want our well-being maintained to the best of its ability. So when we're talking about that which is right or wrong, now you have to talk about the different systems of living cooperatively, because there's no how would you have a moral system that wasn't cooperative? How it wouldn't be a moral system then. It is inherent to it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's a good question. And the way I would say it is, if me and you disagree on something and I kill you, well, I think I'm living pretty cooperatively with everyone else who agrees with me, right?
Correct.
What?
So what you're trying to suggest that arbitrariness of it is the same as the subjective nature of taking it up, which it is not. In fact, when you say you are describing, hang on, I'm about to explain it. In fact, what you are explaining is the arbitrary nature by which other people, which religious people take it up. I was raised with this and told this is what's morally correct. I've never met this objective moral bringer. Therefore, a person explained it to me. I reasoned it. It made sense with what my values were. So I adopted it. Again, you've never met God. So inasmuch as you're calling morality subjective, you have participated in the subjective nature and you have picked it up, and arguably much more arbitrarily. Now I'll tell you my defense, or how I picked up mine. I evaluated the moral systems, and on the merits of how well the morals themselves can be defended, that's how I picked up which moral system I believe is the most, you could call it the most moral. The easier way would just be the most defensible morality. I don't ask you to trust any invisible God. I don't ask you to trust some being you've never met, some authority you've never met, through a line of dozens of men who wrote it down and may have changed the writings and may have tried to treat their own self-interest. I'm not asking you to trust any of that. I'm asking you to trust on the merits of, hey, what if we created a society that you're about to re-roll your character and enter, and you don't know how those roles are going to come up, and you're going to come up, so you don't know what race you're going to be, what gender you're going to be, what your hobbies are going to be, what religion you might be born into. You don't know any of that. So I'm going to design a society that if you're re-rolling a character, you would be least afraid, because that's probably the best you can do, is least afraid. Not truly delighted, but least afraid. The society you would be least afraid to enter with a brand new re-rolled character. That's easily defensible. The Christian defense of their morality, of their moral system, but you can still say, according to Christianity, that is objectively moral or immoral, but if it's less defensible, then you get into a philosophical discussion about, if you lose your defense, was it moral or wasn't it? But either way, the choice, your defense of your morality isn't all of those things that I just described, creating a society that is maximally cooperative. It is, I got told by a guy who got told by a guy who got told by a guy, but don't worry, they're going to prove that this one's the correct one as soon as you're dead.
I guess so. So what I would say to that is, it almost seems like you're kicking the can down the road a little bit, right? Because if you say that,
how? I'm not asking anybody to wait until they're dead for proof of my moral system's defensiveness.
So here's what you're saying, though, right? Like, if you think about humans, right, on like a million-year scale, just say, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can, and you say a random roll. If you, I'm trying to represent you the best way. So if I stutter or if I misrepresent you, just let me know, right? So if you,
I will.
All right, bet. So if you randomly get into a person, right, you know which morals are best. That if the randomly rolled person has the most enjoyable time living, or if
that wasn't the standard.
But
enjoyment wasn't the standard.
Like, okay.
The one you would be least terrified. That's not necessarily the best word for it. Again, bronchitis, brain fog. But the society that you would be most keen to join with a complete random re-roll. You don't know if you'll be handicapped, an amputee. You don't know if you'll be gay, straight, black, white. You don't know what your stats are going to come up. And this would be the society that is going to fit best for anybody, no matter their stat roll.
Okay, cool. So what I'm saying is you might not, you can still justify violence towards the person for future people to be better off, right? And on top of that,
that's only sorry, I do have to correct you, Spencer. You said to correct you if you're wrong. You're describing as though I've told you which model that is. The model that I think achieves that is the secular humanist model. And any way in which you think that you can murder based on secular humanism is incorrect.
I mean, I think earlier what happened is that this caller said that it could be moral to kill a bunch of atheists because the beliefs that they hold are dangerous.
No, please, no. I'm not advocating to shoot anyone up. What I'm saying
me
is,
and a lot of chatters,
myself
and a lot of chatters understood that being what you were saying. So please, thank you for correcting the record.
No. Thank you for letting me know that's what people are saying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, my point was saying that if you have no objective moral standard, you can justify violence in the short term for peace in the long term. And you say different traits people can be born in.
I think we view morality different, man. Like, we think that there's a biological basis for morality. It's not objective because fairness and empathy can fluctuate based on different situations, but there is a clear biological basis and not just among humans as well, among other animals, there is a sense of fairness. If you give one monkey a grape and give the other monkey like a cracker, the one with the cracker is like, hey, what the fuck? There's a sense of fairness. Why did you give the other guy a grape? I want a grape. I don't want this fucking cracker. Like, there is a clear biological motivation for human beings to cooperate. We are like wolves. We are pack animals. We exist most cohesively when we cooperate and work together. Like, the first signs of civilization when we evolved was like the first time a femur fully healed, when we were taking care of one another.
But Spencer,
hasn't wait, hold on. I'd like to address that for a second though. Hasn't most of human cooperation throughout history been to murder other humans?
Yeah, and driven by religion, mind you.
Okay, but my point is still that, like, even now people can still condemn those actions taken on religion based on, like, the fact that me and a Muslim can debate about what's right or wrong still kind of shows that there's an objective morality outside of us.
Incorrect.
And I don't necessarily...
Actually, hang on, Spencer. Okay. Can you and I argue about whether or not peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are delicious?
Okay, well, I see where you're going.
If the answer is yes, then that doesn't mean there's an objective answer to it. But by the way, Spencer, for morality to be objective, it would have to be that this programmer honestly doesn't even give you a choice but to live it. As in, you can't be immoral. This is the moral way to live, therefore this is how you live, and it's impossible to otherwise. Spencer, what is something that is objectively evil and that you believe is objectively evil?
I would say any killing of an innocent person.
But you could change your mind on that, correct?
Well, okay, as a Catholic, I don't.
No. As a human, Catholic's not a real thing. As a human, you could change your mind. Let's say through some dramatic thing, you get a brain injury tomorrow, your empathy goes away, and you become like cynically nihilistic. You could change your mind on it, correct?
I guess I could.
Obviously,
but if
Spencer.
I had a brain,
Spencer,
if I had a brain injury, that would be something.
Okay,
like,
Spencer. That's just an extreme example. You must know that there are people who have changed their minds on moral truths that were Catholics before and aren't now. It doesn't have to be killing an innocent person, but you can change your mind. Therefore, even this most extreme example that you're coming up with, an obviously immoral act, you can change your mind on, which means as far as picking up a morality goes, it is only subjective. You have decided, you have reasoned, your opinions have been appealed to, and in the end of the day, a result of your choices, a result of your values, a result of your information that you've received has led you to a conclusion that makes you think Catholic morality is the best moral system, but you can change your mind on it. So as far as the interactions go, everything is subjective. Even if you want to say God's system is the objective moral system, well, that doesn't really work because God is a subject.
I also think it is a great example here for if you personally judge that killing children is like morally wrong and always morally wrong, then do you believe that God is an immoral actor for having killed children numerous times in the Bible?
So I think what you're referring to in the Old Testament is like wartime.
Killing all the babies in Egypt as a primary example. Firstborn, the flood killed a bunch of people, Sodom and Gomorrah. Like I literally could go on and on and on.
Yeah,
there are like 20 different examples. Yeah.
The wartime stuff, by the way, Spencer, you don't want to get into the wartime stuff because the wartime stuff wasn't just kill the children. It was called kill all the children except for the virgin girls. They can stay alive and just go ahead and rape them. Like, if you want to get into Deuteronomy, we can get into Deuteronomy, but I don't think you want to.
What you're doing right now is displaying a level of willingness to flex your moral opinion that killing children is always wrong because of your religious indoctrination.
So do you think they're, well, okay, first of all, in terms of like changing minds, right? There've definitely been atheists or secular humanists who's changed their mind. So I don't necessarily see how that like kind of targets like that's not an issue.
Spencer, my assertion about changing the mind.
Hold on.
Hang on. No, you hang on, Spencer, because you're ascribing to me the same flaw that there was with yours. You're the one claiming an objective system exists. I have claimed that various systems exist. Something can objectively adhere to that system or not, but that the actual picking up of a moral system is completely subjective, including you picking up Catholicism.
After we kind of branched from the argument about Catholicism, my argument was that religion and an objective truth does more to hold together societies than anything atheistic or secular can. That was my whole argument.
And I disagree. So especially now in the age of information, I think that the usefulness of religious communities to keep communities together in the past has been completely worn out.
Also, there are a number of inconsistencies in the Bible, so it's not objective.
And I think that the number of communities that were genocided on religious basis would say maybe your whole thing of this being beneficial to humanity has some caveats. Maybe there's an asterisk or two.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of genocides or killings of thousands of people done by atheists too, right?
But not in the name of atheism.
Yeah, but the same way that you would say that like religion of any kind of like breathes out this intrinsic hatred for the other, you could also say that atheism like kind of breathes out a devaluing of the human at an individual
Incorrect.
level.
No.
Yeah, no, you can't say that. You can
You
lie.
don't
I mean,
so?
you can physically say that, but it wouldn't be true.
First of all, atheism just means you don't believe in God, but also most atheists hold to a type of morality that is, we have a responsibility to one another. Like, it's not accurate to say that an atheistic worldview is one in which we feel permissive to kill children. Actually, an atheistic worldview is one where you recognize that this life that we have here is the only shot we get to do it right, and that we should minimize suffering and try to help each other as much as possible.
Yeah, it'd be hard to actually come up with a system that values humanity more than the system literally named for it, humanism.
So
that's kind of the point.
So do you think eugenics devalues the human?
Do I think eugenics devalues? I am so opposed to eugenics. I don't.
So I mean, it's an extremely broad category, though. There's of course going to be.
I'm opposed to almost every single thing that could possibly be called eugenics. We've had some interesting conversations this week on the shows about it.
Look, at the end of the day, if we can agree on something, we can agree on that. So I'll end on that. I really appreciate you guys for having me on. This is like my first like call-in show I've ever done, so I'm super nervous. You guys are really charitable. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna head out.
Thanks, Spencer. Previous callers would contend with your assertions, but we appreciate you.
All right, bet. Have a good one, bro.
Bye, Spencer.
I don't have a producer to bring me my electrolyte water, so I have to go make one myself.
Yeah, so eugenics generally, when people are describing it as a negative, are going to talk about racist eugenics, classist eugenics, ableist eugenics. And obviously, like anybody intelligent, but there's like a broad term, just saying eugenics, like broadly, I don't know. There's like, we're already experimenting with CRISPR for this reason. There are certain genetic diseases that we'd like to eliminate. In fact, I think if we could eliminate the possibility of right now, breast cancer is rampant amongst a group of people who have this like one gene that shows up in a lot. If it's still eugenics, and this is more me asking, if a person is asking me, is eugenics always bad? If I ask them back, would eugenics include testing an embryo to see whether or not it has that breast cancer gene that makes breast cancer extremely likely? And if so, either using a CRISPR technology to remove it or just washing your hands and doing a new embryo. Does a person consider that eugenics? If they say yes, then I would go, well, in that scenario, then eugenics is fine. But it's people using eugenics broadly. If a person is alive and sentient, those are the people whom we have to maintain. I don't think eugenics includes that either. But again, like the way you can broadly use it. And by the way, there are certain things where it's like certain things just make you an asshole, but I still wouldn't make it illegal. Here's probably my most controversial take. Let's say, actually, let's test this. Let's test this. Okay. I want to poll the chat. Is there any circumstance where a woman wants an abortion at 8 weeks old, and for context, truly she wants it. She's the one making and I got to add an option for always against abortion. So let's just do yes, because I am pro-life. Yes. Oh, anyway, is there any circumstance where a woman wants an abortion at 8 weeks old that you would deny it? Yes, because I'm pro-life. Yes. Other. Or no. So it's she's making the decision fully in her, and for the moment we're just going with the speech of woman, especially since the exceptions we're going to be talking about, the thing we're going to be talking about. I don't know. I don't think I have to worry that any like enlightened trans person Anyone, a pregnant man, I don't think is going to face this, the example that I'm about to give.
Statistically less likely.
Mm-hmm. Did the fetus pay rent? So right now, 95% of people are saying no, 2% yes, pro-life. Yes, I'd love to hear who these yes others are. Here's the deal. I would think you're a dog shit person if the only reason you're aborting your baby at 8 weeks old is because the baby is black. I would think truly, if everything else was the same, but the fact that the baby would be black is the reason why, that you are a ginormous piece of garbage, and yet I would not deny you the abortion. I don't think we owe any 8-week-old non-sentient fetus I don't think it has any right to life, any right to continued pregnancy. I don't think there is any reason, especially when we are pre-sentience, that I would deny a person an abortion, even super bigoted, shitty fucking abortions.
I guess like there's a matter of scale in which I think some personal decisions, some can fit into a framework that I would call eugenicist, but I think the problem with eugenics is when it is systemic. So like if a person is like, I just found out that my kid has a severe chromosomal thing and like they probably will be able to live through it, but it would cause like an enormous burden on me and the child and their life would not be great. I'm like, okay, as a personal decision, I'm not going to say like we need to legally enforce you having that baby anyway, especially with the complete lack of resources. But if it became systemic where like doctors were recommending abortion for stuff like Down syndrome, I'd be like, no, that's bad.
I wouldn't have a personal gripe with a person who we tested our 12-week-old fetus or whatever and basically got guaranteed Down syndrome, thought about all of the things that would entail for our family and just recognized
if I have
that wasn't something we could undertake.
If I have a pregnancy where I have severe, what the fuck ever it's called, where you throw up a bunch, I might just mulligan that anyway, because each pregnancy can be different from one another. Yeah. So yeah.
In the same way that I don't believe, because I don't think abortion is moral or immoral. I think there is no moral position on it, especially in those pre-24-week things. And again, still wouldn't ban late-term abortions. If you have a problem with me on that, you can call in and we can argue about it. But in fact, late-term abortions are potentially some of the most important abortions that we have to maintain a right to. But again, we can talk about that if you want to call in. But as far as that moment, I don't see it as far as what society should have to intervene on. I don't think it should be illegal to cross the road because you don't want to be on the same sidewalk as a black guy. I just think you're a giant piece of shit for it, right? But if you want to take the action of crossing the road and go beyond the other side of the sidewalk, that is fully your prerogative, and I wouldn't put you in jail for it or fine you for being a racist sack of giant shit. However, and to that same vein, I would not see a place where the law should interfere with the same thing with the abortion, with the 8-week abortion. Can't do it because dad's going to be black. You're a giant piece of shit if that's genuinely the reason, and otherwise you would have it.
Yeah.
But I don't legislate against being a giant piece of shit. What's the one where you help people die at the end of their life?
Euthanasia?
Euthanasia, I am, again, sick. Euthanasia, I am fine with.
I'm
under
super against it in the current situation, but
I don't know what you mean by current situation.
Oh, like
assisted death, assisted suicide,
assisted
all that
suicide.
Sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm good with.
They legalized it in Canada, and now the system is pushing people with depression and disabilities that can be accommodated, but society refuses to accommodate. So I personally think that we cannot have death with dignity until we have a robust system for life with dignity. I think it's just like, are insurance companies and hospitals going to prefer long-term treatment, or are they going to prefer a one-time payment and get you completely out of the system? Like, of course, they're going to prefer spending less money. So unless we get out of capitalism, I am so against assisted suicide.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny a person with ALS assisted suicide.
It's just, I guess it's like, I would say it's considered a slippery slope fallacy, except that the slippery slope is occurring currently.
I was going to ask if that's true or if it's Reddit true. I know something happened in the Netherlands, but I already was pretty sure you do not qualify for euthanasia in Canada if your condition is depression.
Yeah, it might have been like
there was one girl in the Netherlands,
one.
And to tell you the truth, I have a lot of questions about whether that story is true.
Sure. It was one specific one of a woman who had like a condition where she was, I think, in a wheelchair and she could not find housing that would accommodate, and they were offering it to her as an option. It's been a couple years since I read about it, but I don't know. I'm just not comfortable.
I think I know the story you're talking about. I think you're mixing two though. The woman was the Netherlands. The person you're talking about was a man.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I might be mixing those two.
And I remember he was saying because he did not have an alternative, he was planning to seek medical assistance. I don't know whether or not. Oh, it looks like, okay, I found an example of a woman. Her name was Denise, used a wheelchair due to a spinal cord injury. Went under a MAGA application. But did she get it approved? Is what I want to know. Because being able to apply and getting approved would be very different for me.
Sure.
I think I should be able to apply if I have a splinter. Doesn't mean it should be approved.
And like other situations too, where like the person themselves, like, I don't know that there are any specific examples of this, but you would run into issues of consent where if a person is on full-time care and they're not necessarily able to make a lot of their own medical decisions, like that their caretakers can choose to have them killed and stuff. And I'm like, I just think it's a little bit screwy.
And
we need to provide people
them,
with more resources.
As with all of them, it looks like whether or not she would have been approved, she paused her application because she got a bunch of housing support. So we don't know whether or not
open-ended as to how that would have resolved.
Right. But clearly that's as we've said many times with this, when people call in and they're like, oh, but how would you solve this and this and this? It's like, yeah, right. As far as like decriminalizing sex work or something like that. And then people are like, yeah, but what about then the exploitation, all that shit? It's like, yeah, it's just part of the answer, right? The answer is give everybody security so nobody has to do it because they have to.
Sure.
Then it's always like consensual. It's always a choice. It's not, these are not things that you can solve just with a single myopic focus.
Totally.
Anyway, we got to keep moving on here. Kroll, I don't know. In Ohio, you're on the line with Luxander and Jimmy. What's up?
Well, it's my first time being on a call-in show, and it's nice to meet both of you. Yeah, I'm just calling in because I've been watching you for years, and I was a theist for all my life, and for about 6 years now, I'm an atheist, or I would say an agnostic atheist, and just calling in because I voted for Trump 3 times, and I'm an atheist, and I agree with some of the stuff that they are doing, and some of the stuff I don't. But there's so many different types of MAGA voters today, you can't just classify them as one.
Okay. You're still a Christian nationalist, whether... Wait. Corral, are you saying that the fact that I'm saying you're a Christian nationalist despite being an atheist is untrue?
I'm against Christian nationalists.
No, you aren't. You voted for Christian nationalism. I'm sorry. If you voted for Hitler, I don't care whether or not you wear the patch. You're a Nazi. And if you vote for Christian nationalism, if you voted for Project 2025, if you voted for J.D. Vance to be the heartbeat away from the president, and if you voted for Donald Trump when he made it very clear that Christian nationalism is the goal of his administration, then whether or not you are privately a Christian, you are a Christian nationalist.
Oh, can I say something now? So my choice was...
Wait, hang on. I want to wait 10 seconds. I thought you knew how conversations worked. Okay, I didn't know we were going to do this whole...
No, I didn't know we were going to
do the whole, like, can I talk now or whatever? So,
I thought there was a delay.
Yeah.
I thought there was a delay. Okay, and I'm not trying to get an argument with you. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
Go ahead, Crow.
Okay, we can... Okay, and I apologize if I come off.
Can you back off your mic a little bit? You're clipping quite a bit.
Yes, they told me to do that. Sorry about that. I have autism, and when I get excited, this is why I usually don't do call-in shows.
I have autism. It's why I do call-in shows.
I love talking.
Every autism person is different. They're not all the same.
Nah.
Well, okay, that's your opinion.
It was a joke, Corral.
It's a joke. We're joking.
We can move on.
Yeah, I know. I'll let you forget. I admire you. Okay, I'm going to answer your question. I'm not trying to glaze you. No, I'm just saying I've watched you many times.
I'll fix that.
I like. Okay, well, that's why I called it my first time ever. So it's either choose between the Sky Wizard people or Stalin. That was my choices. Well, I can vote libertarian.
Motherfucker. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even between the Sky Wizard or like Marx. The number of people who act like Kamala Harris was going to be a revolutionary in any fucking way. We'd be sitting in Biden 2.0 right now, except for we probably would have done better things on Gaza a little sooner. Trans people wouldn't be literally being genocided in their own fucking country, or at least as much. And people would, like, the economic uncertainty of this crazy tariff shit, immigrants wouldn't be being treated so cruelly. Like, the idea that it would have been this fundamental large change. Look, Cruel, I feel for you. There wasn't a good option, but that it was the Sky Wizard people, which, by the way, that's a very cute way to say Hitler, because again, we're talking Christian nationalism. So when you go with some extreme, what you think is authoritarian left, you go with Stalin. When Donald Trump says, I want to be a dictator on day one and is trying to work toward the end of Project 2025, you go with Sky Wizard instead of what we know that to be, Hitler. It's just very laughable how bad fate that was. But be so real. Kamala Harris was going to be Stalin. Be so fucking real right now. I would have loved her to be president because of how boring life would be right now.
God.
Cool.
I
don't know what to say to that, Jimmy. You don't.
Okay, what's your best evidence that she was an authoritarian?
Yeah, please.
Like,
justify the comparison to Stalin.
Give Stalin, let's take Stalin's name off. Give Stalin a label first. So Hitler was a Christian nationalist fascist, right? We can agree on that, I assume.
Yeah.
All right, so what did you say nope or yep?
No, I said yep.
Okay, so what was Stalin? What would you give Stalin as a label instead of Hitler in the same? What would you call Stalin if Hitler was a fascist Christian nationalist?
Marxist socialist, communist. I mean, I haven't studied Stalin that much.
Okay, Marxist, socialist, communist. Which one, first of all? I mean, Marxist is fine.
Some of those are mutually unintelligible, though.
Hold on. I got it on here. I got to close this door real quick. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Damn dog. All right. Sorry about that. I guess I don't know none about Stalin. And I don't know none about Marxism or socialism.
Don't you think you should have?
Kamala Harris the best.
Don't you think you should have known?
I don't know what you want me to say to you.
Kamala Harris is clearly trying to be rich as a person.
Kamala Harris wants to take... no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
Kamala Harris wants to be rich. Kamala Harris wants to serve the interest of rich people. Kamala Harris is very much a capitalist. She is making shit tons of money now, having not won the election. And all of the biggest problems with her issues were that everything fell short of, okay, I'm not going to do anything that stops billionaires from still being super massively successful. I'm not going to take down the pharmaceutical industry. I'm not going to take down the healthcare industry. I'm not going to take down any of these industries that are destroying Americans' lives because I want to keep power. I'll have to get reelected. Those were the worst parts of her. But she's not authoritarian. Not any more than any American president is by default.
Are you okay with insurance companies and big medical programs, Medicaid, Medicare fraud, being investigated at least for fraud?
Wait. Am I okay with them being investigated for fraud? Of course, I want them investigated for fraud, but I don't. But
you can agree on that.
Hang on. I advocate for the Medicare for all system. I think that there should be no insurance companies. I don't think there should be a way to make money based on whether or not first, if people are sick, and then second, if you have figured out an algorithm by which to deny most of those sick people care, which by the way, is why that one guy got murdered, that Republicans are so upset about. He got murdered after piloting the AI program that turned rejections up to above 90% on insurance appeals. So listen, I'll be crying, I'm sure, a lot at some point about it.
I agree. Our system's messed up.
So you went with a conservative system that is literally built for billionaires.
In fact, I think it's beyond repair. I think the system is so messed up with bureaucracy and all that, it's beyond repair.
Then why would you go with the system called conservatism, which means conserve the system in its oldest form as possible?
Well,
instead of a system that says, let's start heading
We're asking
toward,
why you voted for it.
Right. Let's start heading toward the potential of change. No, that wouldn't have mattered. We're still sticking between Kamala Harris and the only choices were Harris.
It's a binary choice. So
correct. It was a binary choice. On November, was it the 5th this last time? It was a binary choice, and you chose wrong, is what we're telling you.
Well, I've seen things like lawfare. I mean, we don't have to get into it. I've seen things. I've seen enough evidence. Stuff that, see, I'm trying to get my point out, please. I've seen lawfare. I've seen censorship, and it's been going on. It's just gotten worse and worse. You know, rights being taken away from people, even from the trans people. Rights being away from the trans people
under Republican rule.
Cruel, do you have a Twitter account?
Would you ban assault? Yes.
You have a Twitter. Yes, go call Elon Musk cisgender and tell me what happens to your Twitter account.
I'll probably get banned.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm not saying they're the answer. I'm not saying they're the answer.
But the liberals literally did no significant censorship. Like you're describing, what you're talking about are private companies.
Did you watch all the companies? Can I ask
private companies?
Well, talking. Can I say something?
You can when I'm done.
All the congressional hearings. Okay,
Corral, I watched a ton of them, and I bet I watch more than you. Now I'm going to say my point. Corral,
I watch them every day.
As far as the government goes, government censorship was not happening on some massive level under the liberals. Private companies did. Donald Trump is literally getting people from media fired, is literally getting editor-in-chiefs at media companies replaced with people who are more sympathetic. Donald Trump is literally turning news organizations into state media. Donald Trump is doing things that are absolutely 100% anti-First Amendment. But you're sitting here and going, because Facebook didn't let anti-vax shit be more rampant, and I like it now that they're allowed to be as loud as they want better. Because again, the government never forced them to. The government said, hey, here's misinformation. We suggest you flag it. We suggest you do whatever with it. Never was it forced.
Under Trump, people are literally being forced. I think we have different social constructs, and some of our social constructs overlap, and some of it don't.
Boy, I think grilled cheese is best. I think grilled cheese is best with Ahego cheese. If we're just going to say random shit that's not related to the previous argument.
I know.
Well, did you call in sober?
Yes. I told you I have autism.
Yeah.
I've also survived 2 brain tumors.
First of all, you didn't tell me you survived 2 brain tumors, but autism is not an excuse for seeming drunk. And I'm asking you because you are right now being erratic in your responses and not staying on top.
And I also told you this is my first time calling in, and I'm nervous. Also, I told you that
we're trying to keep things on the rails, man.
Corral, I don't care if it's your first time calling in. I am describing to you the ways in which this conversation is going poorly. And right now, you're trying to say that you're not drunk. Hang on, I'm not done.
It's my first time calling in.
I'm not done. I believe
you can make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I believe I detected a drunk person on the phone. Oh my goodness. Can I get there?
Yeah.
I believe I detected what was a drunk person on the phone because of the way you were radically subject hopped without at all engaging the term prior. To tell you the truth, Cruel, I still think you're drunk. But your response was, I'm not drunk. I'm brain damaged. So Cruel, take this from my perspective. Hang on. Pretend you are a debater and you do it for a living.
Well, I apologize.
Hang on, I'm not done, Cruel. Pretend you are a debater for a living and somebody calls in and you're trying to debate them. They're not staying on topic. And then when you try to bring that up, they go, I'm not drunk, I'm brain damaged. What would be the value as you, a professional debater, to continue that? Or would it actually look poorly to continue that conversation?
I guess I'll let you go
because it would be the equivalent of a boxer beating up a 9-year-old girl. Okay.
Well, I'll let you go then. I didn't mean to disturb you. I thought I'd try calling in.
Okay. Thank you, Cruel.
Yes.
Bye-bye. If you do not have the intellectual capacity to stay on topic, it would only make me look like a dick to continue to exploit a person's inability to intellectually engage. And while there are many ways in which I am content appearing to be a dick, that would not be one of them.
Yeah.
We're going to quickly take a couple of these other calls. Let's see. Dave in California. Dave, you have a question about creating more veterans. Go ahead.
Yeah, or I guess that's the way the screener put it down. If I may, I just want to thank both of you. Jimmy, I'm also an ex-Mo, and that's how I found this channel. And Lux, I am the father of a trans-masked teenager, and Takis has been instrumental in learning to be a parent of a trans child. So I really thank both of you for that.
Cool. All right. So go ahead. What was your question? I don't know how to engage with compliments, so I just am going to move forward. What was your question?
Well, like you, I was watching the Trump address last night, sitting on pins and needles and almost ready to blow my recovery and drink about it because I've been stressing so hard. I'm a combat veteran myself, severe PTSD, and some physical injuries as well. And I am so worried about creating new veterans when we are not taking care of the ones that already exist. This administration has been gutting veterans care, health care, benefits. I'm not sure if it's correct, but I think I read something about Pete Hegseth taking down the GI Bill. I am just so worried about what we're about to do to the next generation when my generation is fucked. And I wanted to hear your thoughts. I'm not sure if there's anything really to say about it, but I don't know. I wanted to hear from you guys as I'm going through my own anxieties over it.
I don't have any way to comfort you. I mean, the way I've been putting it lately is, imagine if Twitter existed when World War II happened. Hitler would have won. I don't know that we win this. I just know which side I'm fighting on. You know, like I don't know that the fascists lose this. I just know I'm gonna die fighting the fascists. So I don't know. Like, oh no, we don't need to suspend calls yet. You can open those back up, Luthien. Try and find fulfillment and joy in fighting it. That's what I'm doing here. This is my relief from it and why I'm able to put a lot of it down, because I have my hours each week that are dedicated to it. And then I can go ahead and not think about it quite as much, though sometimes podcasts ruin this for me, when I go out to my wood shop and I fight splinters instead. Like I don't have hope to give anybody. I have the correct opinion. I'm trying, but
I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm still trying to figure out my place in this fight because I am not physically capable that I used to be. And it feels so impotent to be on this side with my experience and not be able to fight the way I want to. And
I get it.
And so, yeah, no, but no, that is good advice, to just find another outlet, find a way to place my thought. I don't know.
Or more of like dedicate time to be all about it, and those hours that you're going to hate.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the time you do it.
Compartmentalization.
Right. Which therapists will always say is healthy. And then do other shit the other time.
Exactly.
I also get like tremendous joy in just like, it doesn't happen often, but there's something better about just shit talking in bed with your partner, something dumb Trump did right before you go to bed, than any of the other ways. So I don't know if you have a partner or not, or whatever equivalent you could find with that, but finding a person with whom it's fun to just be like, in that context, I give you permission to use the R word when you're having those convos, to be able to just let all of that fly and out and just say it the way it's popping in your head, and not worrying so much about, are you articulating it in a way that the comment section's not going to crucify you for?
Yeah.
That helps too.
Yeah. And I do have somebody in my life that I have outlets with, and no, that wasn't a euphemism. But no, I just, I mean, it is still a euphemism, just not the way I meant it. Okay. I just meant like, yeah, I do have somebody in my life who is a very good conversationalist that sides with me on most things. So no, I hear you there. I don't know. Like I said, I really feel like I said, the next generation of veterans is just absolutely fucked, and that worries me.
Yeah. I feel you.
The next generation of everybody is fucked. So
they might also be the least fucked. Like, we don't know.
That.
Like, we don't know what the conclusion is of, look, guys, I don't like a lot of things AI is doing. However, it is probably if we get our shit out of this shit, if we save the world, AI will probably be the single biggest weapon that is a part of it. And what form that shows up, I don't even know. Whether they're inventing the stuff that solves the climate change, whether we design the robot that's the best president ever, as in a lot of sci-fi or whatever. It's an unfortunate reality. I don't know how fucked they are. They might be the least fucked generation, because maybe they get the AI implants and they're like, oh, my brain actually works. Obviously, Catholicism would be a terrible system by which to build your government on. Tom Paul or whatever the guy's two names were earlier. Anyway. I think that was actually correct.
Forgive me, as bad as my PTSD is, I'm never putting that monkey killing brain chip in my head. Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, I'm not putting Elon's in there for sure. For sure, Elon's not going in there. But I don't know. I like, if you're just coming of age, because it would be weird to give this advice to anybody else. I don't know what's going to happen. So please go seek out as much consensual, safe sex as you can. That's my advice to everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, both of you. I appreciate you. And thanks, I will just say to anybody who is serving or wants to serve, I'm going to throw out the same reminder. You are obligated to refuse unlawful orders. That's all I got to say to the next generation that I think is fucked.
Cool. Dave, I'd say thank you for your service, but I don't know what you did. And I think I grew up in a military family, and even they thought it was weird to just do that by default. But if you did something cool, dope. Thanks, Dave.
I tell people to say welcome home instead of thank you for your service. Say welcome home.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
Cool. Sweet. All right. Well, thanks, Dave.
Take care.
Bye. Oh, I almost accidentally hit end show instead of end call. That's where my brain is.
That's on
at.
a totally different part of the page. What is wrong with you?
Doug in the United Kingdom. Yeah, I had hit the because I was unsuspending calls. So it was up in that top thing. Doug in the UK is calling in, and I see this topic. Oh God, I actually know about this one from being in Texas. So I'm sorry if I explain some things here. Have you heard of this yet, Lux?
Yeah, I think I have a tab open about it too, because I've obviously this one's come up several times recently, and I'm prepared to argue it.
Hey, Doug.
Yo.
All right, what's the topic? Give it to us.
So the topic is, if I can just say firstly that I am an ally and I'm left. I'm not calling in with any kind of transphobic comments or anything like that. It's the exact opposite.
You actually are.
It was more a comment on. I've watched The Line on and off for a long time. I find American politics fascinating. I find Christian nationalists fascinating. The whole thing. It's almost like reality TV over in the UK, watching what's going on. And whenever the issue of transgender women in sport comes up, a lot of the time, the host on The Line will say something like, I don't care about sports in general. Why can't we just have a tier system based on ability? Therefore, everyone can compete. And if you're good enough, you're good enough. And things like that.
I might suggest you call Takis from now on, because your summary of The Line's position seems far from the actual position.
Is that true? Because I'm sure I've heard Forrest say this.
I mean, if the proposition is, and my opinion is that sports performance is largely based on things like sports funding. And so if we integrate sports and we start delineating competitors by things like height or weight or ability, then that levels the playing field for everybody. And then women have the opportunity to prove the fact that they absolutely can compete against and win against men. The fact that we have gender segregated sports in the way that we do now is to preserve the idea of male supremacy. So my position is not only about trans athletes, but that all sports should be by height and weight and what was your fastest time on whatever, that kind of stuff.
Similar factors. So, but it seems to me, Doug, hang on real quick. I'm going to try to expedite this because I think I know where it's already going. So you're calling in about the potential of unfairness in sports that currently exists, right? And wanting a response to our, with our position being as it is, and you have an example of what you believe is clear unfairness. Would you like to go ahead and present that? Because this will expedite the point that we're getting to.
Well, if you're thinking that I'm referring to the woman that won World's Strongest Woman a month or so ago, then no, I don't think she should have been stripped of her title. That wasn't the point that I was trying to make.
Oh, I'm going to blow your mind. I actually do believe that her name was Jamie Booker, that it probably was correct.
Jamie Booker.
It probably was correct to disqualify her win.
Why so?
Because she lied. I don't know. It's sad that they have to disclose, but under the current rules, you have to disclose. And I think, like the Olympics, for trans athletes, there is a system by which they regulate whether or not you should compete. So in other words, the thing that people who are engaging in bad faith think is going to happen can't actually happen. A man can't actually just say, I'm a woman now, let me compete and go beat up those girls. That there actually are regulations of detecting the person's hormone levels, the amount of testosterone in their system, things like that. They're not perfect system because there are naturally occurring hormone spikes in cis women. But because she misrepresented her identity and no such regulations were actually adhered to, then I'm not sitting there going, they did a wonderful thing and clearly they're now using this terribly. But this is not the same tragedy that you see in people who were abiding by the rules, who were adhering to regulations, who didn't lie about whether they were trans or not. And the fact that the broader point is that the example of clear unfairness that people are now having to use is the example of a person actually lying to get into the competition at that position, or at least lying by omission and not giving a chance of like fair. In other words, the Olympics have allowed women who are trans to compete in the past, but you had to follow certain regulations. Yeah. We don't know whether or not she would have fallen in those regulations or not because she won as a secretly trans person.
I would say that to agree with their decision is tacit agreement in the separation of biological sex. And also, I have to say about this, women juice in that competition. All of the women juice. None of them are natural. There's no such thing as a fair competition for them. It's Blurn's ball. Just let him shoot up and do whatever crazy shit. Like the idea that it's unfair for a person who went through a testosterone puberty or whatever to have competed is like, this is the Wild West version of sports competition. There's no fucking comparison.
But do keep in mind, we're not arguing about what the rules of that thing should have been. We're talking about what the rules were.
But I'm
what
moving
the rules
past
of the Olympics
that.
are. Right.
Like,
right.
I disagree with the rules, and I don't give a shit about them.
I think, I get it. It's kind of like certain things that we've said where you and I focused on two different things around the same topic, and people in comments then thought that was you arguing with me and pointing out that I was wrong.
I can disagree with you. You're my friend. I can disagree with you.
I would fire you. But the actual argument here isn't about what the rules should be. Obviously, I don't think the Texas rules are right. I don't think you should exclude trans women from it.
Sure.
I do think that if we are going to be categorizing by gender, as we are right now, we should have something in place so that some psychopath of a cisgender man can't, because that's what the problem.
You're saying it was a blatant rules violation.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
It wasn't
separate from that.
It wasn't a blatant rules viation. This is the issue.
Yes, it wasn't. Yes, it was. That's why they pulled it up.
Put out a statement retrospectively. It wasn't in there. It wasn't in their code.
The rules of the competition was that you could only compete according to your sex at birth.
That is what the rules are.
Right. So it was against the rules.
They weren't at the time. I'm sure they weren't at the time. That was something that was introduced.
I'm sorry. You are wrong because it happened in Texas, and Texas has had laws before this year to make sure that is the case. You aren't in the state of Texas allowed to compete outside of the sex of your birth. I live in Texas. I remember when it happened because I happened to employ a bunch of these people, and it directly affected one of these people who's very close to me.
But how is it unfair so separate? I'm moving off of it. I'm moving back to the original prompt. How is it unfair for a transgender athlete to participate if everyone else is juicing anyway?
Oh, yeah, I think that's fair enough to ask.
Well, that's okay. Maybe the screener put it down wrong then. I'm not sure what your point is then.
No, it's not unfair. It was, I'm a 46-year-old guy who's never taken steroids in his life. Now my testosterone is on the decline. And I guarantee, I know ladies that are in that competition. I'm close friends with one of the women that was competing against Jamie.
You have a male supremacist ideology.
So, and those ladies.
I think Doug might think it was unfair against Jamie, not against.
It was unfair against Jamie. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's how we misread it.
I'm like, okay, so you're calling into just to have like an anti-transphobic opinion? Is that it? I am so tired of agreeing with people.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Doug. If I knew we agreed, I wouldn't have taken the call.
Oh, I do apologize, but that wasn't the main point of the call. Well,
go ahead, give your question.
Of the call, but it was the idea that of the few times that I've heard hosts on the line talk about a tiered system based, like you said, Lux, on height, on weight, and having mixed gender competitions. Because again, I'm only talking to strongman because that's all that I'm interested in.
Are we allowed to go full ideal world with this? Because if so, get rid of sports competitions of being anything besides recreational. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking, obviously, also take care of people, make sure that they have housing security and stuff, because a lot of sports are very important to certain communities because it's a way certain people break out of poverty. Doesn't help anybody who's left behind and isn't born with the genetic potential to be that top one. But let's create a society I mean, if we're talking ideal, fucking sports should be recreational. It should be fun. You should be doing it for fun. I don't know. Adding the competition level, it's also why I would get rid of like a lot of marketing practices and shit. I'm like, if we're really talking ideal, sports should be for fun. Spectator sports and shit, it's just, I don't know. A person earlier mentioned it being a cult, and it isn't actually, but people are fucking weird about their sports. So if we're just going ideal world, fuck sports. Go play. You know who I'm going to be playing? I'm about to get into, I think it's called racquetball. Is that the one that's like tinier tennis?
No,
is that the one that No. Luthien, what's the one we're playing? Is it racquetball?
Pickleball.
It is pickleball? Okay, you were right, pickleball. My partner and I are going to start playing pickleball.
We don't have it in the UK.
My partner and I are going to start playing pickleball together, and I fully anticipate that she will beat me, even though I have 100 pounds on her. So far, she is better than me at lots of things that are supposed to be guy stuff. It's really frustrating, and it's emasculating that she beats me at pretty much every video game we ever play. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know, like, what ideal world are we going with this shit? I don't know. And I just don't care about sports in that level. And so in as much as we're going to have them, we should equalize them and make them accessible to all, recognizing that from the onset, this is a category of activity that is literally created for people with genetic advantages. There's no amount of work or practice I could have put in, and I would have ended up in the NBA if you just changed. I was born impossible to get into the NBA. That is what sports is. So we're starting there.
True, but that's not the case for all sports, though, is it, Jimmy?
I mean, I can't think of like one that is we're watching people on the TV. That's why I'm going to play pickleball. It's not the case when I play pickleball with my partner, right? But it is the case with what's like a popular watch sport that you don't need a genetic advantage in some way to become the top tier, like famous for it and shit, to compete at the professional level.
Well, yes, yeah, like mega stardom, yes. I admit that is true. That is the elite.
Just
of the
like
elite.
professional. What professional sport do you not need to be born with a genetic advantage to excel at?
No, I concede that point. I do.
All right.
Because,
cool.
Again, I'm only speaking from the strong man, strong woman perspective, where there are guys that are 5'6" that compete in an under 80 kilo category and have great success and loads of kudos, and that is a whole thing. So you don't have to be a giant in the field. You don't have to be, have the quick twitch virus to be the fastest runner. You don't have to have these things to be successful. There is one of the best things about strongman is that there are categories for everybody. Weight classes, ages, juniors, differently abled, all that stuff. So it may be true for popular sports where you can make millions of dollars a year, but not in all sports.
I got you, Doug. There's a bunch of people in the chat literally trying to list sports that don't require genetic advantage to be a professional. And you're literally all wrong. Like every single one of them. If you just think, what genetic advantage could I come up with that realistically might exist? What percentage of people probably have that advantage who play that sport? And does that seem to be represented in that sport? And you're going to find like people who excel at bowling, who get to the professional level, very likely have genetic things you're not even thinking about. Better balance, better hand-eye coordination, better whatever, butt muscles.
Bowling is fun.
But yeah, but I'm not going to be a professional bowler because I lack the ability to do that. Also, my goodness, the repetitiveness to practice all that, you have to have some genetic advantage, just not have your spine separate from bending down like that all the time.
Yeah, it hurts my elbows.
Maybe ping pong? Have you seen professional ping pongers? There is zero world in which I could do I can't. I just got exhausted doing that. Are you insane? All right. Anyway, thank you, Doug. We're gonna move on here. Ping pong was the hand-eye coordination, even like genes for like how many rods you have in your eye to detect motion and anticipate where
and
it's
your reaction
going.
time, like, so it's about your age as well.
You guys are fucking nuts. Chess? You're just trying to get a fucking rise out of me, and it's working. When you get home, I am going to fucking wail on your ass. Anyway, you guys are fucking with me. I see you. Chess. Hey, MAGA. We still have some time if you want to call in. I think we got time. You got time?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta cook dinner at some point, but
I honestly, sometimes I start cooking dinner that's why I like my Ninja and my like Instapot. I'll be like, I have to go to a bathroom, and I just throw fucking like 4 pieces of chicken breast and some broth in. I love
those kind of meals. I need more of them on my list so that I can more often just throw shit in there and leave it.
Can I give you a splurge suggestion?
Sure.
Luthien, does KitchenAid make our rice cooker? If not, if you don't know, will you go look at what the brand is?
I use my Instant Pot for cooking rice.
Okay, but our rice cooker, one, it has a reservoir of water. So if you want, you can just put
steam.
No. Reservoir of water outside of the pot.
Okay.
You put the amount of rice you want to cook in, you close it, you tell it the rice, it puts in the water, the right amount of water. Or if you like using broth, it basically goes, you put in the rice you want, and then you say, okay, it's broth time. And it basically tells you when to stop adding broth. You start pouring it in.
That's cool.
Yep. Okay. And then it cooks it to perfection. And you can choose so I actually click rice basmati because that's the best rice.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It is KitchenAid. By the way, KitchenAid. Okay. So KitchenAid makes this smart rice cooker that has the what? It's a bit of a, so here's the thing. I have to eat rice as like 50% of my diet or something crazy. It's one of the 8 foods I can eat. I'm up to like 8, but there's still only like 8 foods I can eat. And so when that's your reality, like, I'm not saying people who only eat rice every now and then, but when you're literally cooking rice so that you have rice every day, splurge a little. It's nice too. The pot can do up to maybe like 3 cups of uncooked rice at a time.
That's a lot of rice.
Yeah. But you can also do as little as half a cup. And seriously, you just and boom. I just bought some jasmine rice, and I think I remembered that I like it too. But basmati rice gives you 2 things. 1, delicious, fragrant, perfect texture rice. But 2, before you eat the rice, you get to pretend there's popcorn. And that I love about it. You know what I'm talking about? The smell of popcorn in the house? Basmati doesn't smell like high quality popcorn.
I guess I'm usually cooking something while the rice is cooking, so maybe the smell gets covered a little bit.
I'm usually pressure cooking chicken. Now, I will do rice if I'm slow cooking a beef roast. What I like to do is just do with a little bit extra liquid. You got that slow cooker going and stuff, a little bit extra liquid. So then about 45 minutes-ish before it's done, you go and you scoop out them juices, and that's what you cook your rice with.
That's good
stuff. Excellent. MAGA, call us 33654-32101. You can't debate. You can't defend your vote for Trump. You can't do it. The only way you can do it is if you pretend you aren't drunk.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Come on.
I can see how brain damage could make someone sound drunk.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of, let me tell you who I will debate, brain damaged or not. John Fetterman, if you want to call in, I will roast your fake ass, bitch ass with my beef cooker. Fuck you, Fetterman.
That's been such a cluster.
You don't deserve your hot wife. I said it. Stop. If you're hot, stop rewarding terrible people by marrying them. Okay, people? Only marry good people. Also, if you're not hot, only marry good people. But in a very misogynistic, objectifying kind of way, I'm just saying let's use hot women as rewards for good people.
Makes perfect sense.
By the way, before you say I'm sexist, I think that hot women who are good people should also be given other hot women. So it's not sexist.
Everyone gets hot. Listen, yeah, it's like everybody can marry a woman or man, then therefore gay marriage isn't a thing that you need. Exactly.
Do you ever like lose a lot of time thinking about what you would do if you like woke up back in time with the knowledge you have now?
It does not like a daily thing sometimes, but also I feel like that way lies madness.
Oh, that's how I fall asleep most nights. I used to say every night, but this is my pitch for Pluribus. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No. All I know is that the marketing of it made me uncomfortable almost immediately.
Good.
Okay.
It's an uncomfortable show, but in an amazing way. Pluribus has now replaced my fall asleep exercise. So usually I would fall asleep by doing that. It's like it was like my nightly routine. I just close my eyes, think about what I would do if I woke up, now I'm 15, now I'm 10, now I'm whatever. And sometimes you modify it. Like now I have Professor X powers. I woke up in the future and I can control everybody's mind. And by the way, I would abuse it. For the record.
Don't give me superpowers. I've said it for years. Don't.
You will live in my authoritarian society.
I am chaotic good,
Professor
but the
X.
chaotic has a capital C.
Yeah. I'll be president of the world. Okay. Or what if I have mind control powers? My puppet will be.
Mm.
You're gonna think it's me, but I don't know. I look like Alan Alda or some shit. Hey, I can't do an Alan Alda voice, but he'd make a great president voice. Anyway, Pluribus is now my nightly exercise. It has replaced it.
Okay.
I will say sometimes I have to go like, oh, Jimmy, don't think about the sexual stuff. You're better than that. But I now am falling asleep a lot thinking about what I would do if I was in the same shoes. And it kind of is that same size of exercise. It's why the show's so good, because you are constantly thinking like, holy shit, okay, that's what a person like this would do in this scenario, this would do in this scenario. What would I do in that situation? It's why it's like so tasty, so yummy. Was I rude to you earlier, Luthien? Someone said I was rude when I asked you for the water.
No, you were not rude.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? God, your voice is so hot though. Would you, now that we've established it's not rude to ask you to get me stuff, would you bring me one of the honey cough drops off of the kitchen island, pretty please? Anyway, the show is excellent, and I suggest you start watching it tonight. I know Alyssa is probably watching episode 1 right now. The season finale is on Christmas, or the day after Christmas. Tonight is the episode leading up to the season finale. It'll release Friday. It releases
penultimate.
Yes, the penultimate. The penultimate. It's I'm really into the Pluribus. I'm really in. We've got some calls. It looks like coming in.
You need someone
screening.
to talk to about. I get it.
Well, I have my partner. You know, we do talk about it. I just think I feel like this is another one of like, this is the show. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You can produce my show anytime.
I'm so happy for you guys. It's gross, but I'm happy for you.
Well, yeah. Lux has met Luthien too, and can vouch for. I am dating way above my level. Like,
I think you both bagged a baddie. Listen, I think you both are doing well for yourself.
But let's be clear.
Well, she's a woman. It's not fair to compare you two.
That's true. That's fair. Not fair.
It's like women are just on a different level.
Yeah, that's completely fair. All right. Let's see. Let's talk to Bill in Oregon. Bill, let's see. Bill, I didn't read your notes until now. So to tell you the truth on this topic, if we were looking for someone to opine on it, we would direct people to, and I don't know if you've seen this already, Bill, we had a show for like a year called Dying Out Loud on the line, and those episodes are still up, and it was hosted by a man with ALS who is also opted into assisted suicide. Did you have a question or anything about it, or there was just a quick thought you wanted to share about being opted into it?
No, I just opted in. I have terminal cancer, and so I did go through the process in case anybody was interested, just in a couple minutes, or if Lux wanted to ask me questions. I'm in Oregon. I'm in the same state she's in. Other than that, I'm a far lefty, so everything else we agree on, all of us.
Yeah.
But I have gone through all the paperwork, dealt with all the doctors, and I'm 64.
How long have you known?
Well, I was cleared of cancer in April. Like, my pathology was clear, and literally had it back a month later, and it came back huge.
When did they tell you this one's the...
I have about 7 other diseases, so I decided not to try to treat this.
Gotcha.
So that was my decision.
Yeah, no, I get that. Basically, you're like, yeah, I get it. I assume there's some level of like, yeah, and it's just not, you'd rather just have a few months left that isn't fighting like that than whatever amount of time fighting like crazy.
Literally exactly my reasoning was to have 2, 3, whatever months of, kind of clarity where I'm at least now.
Yeah.
Compared to, no bodily autonomy for the rest of my life.
I gotcha. Is Oregon the same as most other states where it's a concoction that you mix into like applesauce? Do you have to do it under medical supervision
or
is
like
it?
They actually give it to you and they leave the room. They can't be in the room. So they mix it, they mix it, you drink it. It's like 4 ounces of powder and it goes into like some kind of juice. And you fall asleep, you go into a coma, and usually you're gone within 10, 15 minutes.
It is strange that we have that technology and yet we still are like fucking up when we use capital punishment. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems we have a definitive nice way for people we like. And yet the people that we are killing on death row, because that's how we deter killing people, is still fucking up. Like, we can't go to the pharmacy for them. I don't know. Anyway, Bill.
Right. Yeah. Mine's actually at the pharmacy right now. You can pick it up whenever you're ready. I have to, of course, have a nurse pick it up for me, but basically you don't have to take it and you don't pay for it until you pick it up. Insurance does not pay for it. It's $700.
Wow.
I have to pay for that out of my pocket, which is hard.
Can you imagine being the company that asks you to pay for that? Like,
yeah, I
idea.
think only Kaiser covers it. I'm on Medicare, so I don't get it covered. I'm trying to get on Medicaid because let's say I decide not to do it. Medicaid is the only way I could get covered for in-home care. I would literally have to go to a facility to die, which I don't want to do also.
Right.
I want to die in my apartment. So
the medication, is it used for something else other than this, or is it exclusively for?
There's about six different things in it. I actually looked it up recently here, and they all do different things. So when you mix them together, it becomes lethal.
I'm just imagining being the company that's like, hey, let's make the killing capsule. And how much should we charge them for it? Like, there's just something, like, obviously it's crazy that they're always doing it. No matter along the way, it's like, oh, you might die of bronchitis if you can't afford this albuterol inhaler. Whatever the thing is. I don't know. There's just something so dark about charging a person for their death pills.
Well, that's the problem with the for-profit system in the first place. Capitalism basically makes money off death, but then so many people poo-poo science because of capitalism.
I'm just imagining some asshole who probably like looks like Dwight Schrute in a boardroom is like, well, guys, can we remember this will be the last dollars we get from them, so let's price it accordingly.
Right. Right. You get the last straw because that's the last one you're going to get from me.
Yeah. It's like, and then if I find out that like Ozempic, the markup is ginormous, I think I'd lose my fucking mind. Because Ozempic is famously over $1,000, but it costs them less than $10 to manufacture, even covering.
Right.
But people always want to say, what about research? What about R&D? You could easily do that for 1/10 of the price. And that's just on the elective market. And yeah, we're just crazy with that shit.
Most of the research is done in public colleges.
Yep. But somebody bought the patent to it for a lot of money and they have to recoup their investment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying.
They could work on a break-even analysis.
Look, I don't want to say what I mean, okay, Bill, but if a miracle happens and things turn around, I'm just saying maybe you pick up the medication anyway. Just get it. I'll arrange for a guy to pick it up and you don't worry about it from there. Just kidding.
That's already arranged. I had friends my friends did a GoFundMe for me. I'm covered, but I hear you.
Oh, I don't think you were picking up what I was saying.
He was making a joke about doing illegal things.
If a miracle happens and you're going to be okay and you're suddenly healed, I have uses for the medication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind for you, Jimmy.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, believe me, I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can on my own, but I just decided I wasn't going to go through treatment again.
I got you.
So,
cancer treatment fucking sucks, is my understanding. So I get it.
I have to tell you.
Yeah, well, especially after it works, and then they tell you have cancer a month later again.
Yeah, that fucking garbage.
Jesus Christ.
I want to tell you, Bill, this is going to come off like a little bit mixed, and I might even seem like a little bit of an asshole. Why are you watching the show right now? What the fuck are you doing? Like,
you'd be shocked at how much I watch of you guys. I've been watching everything from Tackus to The Line to, I don't know how many other shows, probably for the last at least 2 years, if not 3.
If I could write down the number of minutes I had likely left and then think how much of it I would spend watching atheist YouTubers, I'm sorry, man. Bill, I'm like simultaneously touched and horrified at what you're choosing to use your precious last moments on.
Well, like I am 99% immobile. I can barely walk.
I see.
So I don't leave my apartment. I wish I did. I believe me. Like I said, I live in Eugene, Oregon, and I love this state, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I haven't even seen it in the last 4 years. So, other than doctor visits when I'm driving by in a bus.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on it because I'm very touched. I just think even better YouTube channels exist. But again, it's all a matter of taste.
Yeah, I watched Lux's channel.
Good.
Thank you.
For a long time,
I'm sure you watch Forrest.
I watch Forrest. I've been watching Arden, and I started out with Nominal Naomi when she was doing her own stuff.
Oh wow! Oh yeah.
Cool.
How's she been? I honestly have not checked in a long time.
I've learned more in the last 3 years than I could even comprehend. And you know what? That part of it's neat for me because was born in the 60s, lived in the 70s, didn't know anything really about trans experience or, I wouldn't say I was transphobic, but I was idiotic at times. Yeah. And it's been eye-opening, and I think it's interesting that somebody, I was an old libertarian at one time. Now I'm a socialist. That even an old dog can learn some new tricks.
And Bill, how dark has your sense of humor gotten?
It can be pretty dark.
I gotta imagine. I feel like in your position, I've faced some medical realities, not this bad, obviously, but my medical situation has certainly darkened it. And immediately I was like, well, I'm thinking about my other friend who's dying and the way things we would joke about. And I was like, so how fucked up a joke can I make? Like, for example, Bill, would it offend you if I said like, hey, when you do it, are you planning to document it to film like taking the medication? And if so, can I send you a line mug to be the mug you take the beverage in? But I didn't know if you would appreciate the joke or not. And so that was
awesome. If it could be done, I would. They won't. There's no way they'd let me do that. Everybody has to literally leave the room. So all my caregivers they have to leave the room, stand outside for like 15, 20 minutes. And then they come in and, of course, make all the phone calls they need to make and get me taken away and all that other stuff. No, I'd do that in a second flat.
Well, if you want a mug, Bill, like, just send me an email. I'll send you a mug anyway. You don't have to kill yourself with it, but I will happily send you. We're about to start the new mug brawl, and I'd send you whichever mugs you wanted. I don't know.
All right, I'll shoot you an email. I'll get a mug. I'll have time to use it for some tea before I'm gone. Real
Can
tea.
I tell you? I think this year I actually do have the best mug. Like, it's pretty good. Have I shown you yet, Lex?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man, I'm going to pull it up on my phone. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. This year's mug is solid. Now, Forrest has a good mug too, but the joke's kind of on everybody. If Forrest wins, I technically did his mug as well. I drew his mug. In fact, I'll show you all what Forrest's mug's going to be first. I think I have a copy
while you're
of it.
showing that, let me give you a little bit of my dark humor. I wrote something the other day, and my friend says I have dark humor. And I ran restaurants for 35 years. So I've opened restaurants, I've closed restaurants, I've gone through that kind of OCD organization of how to shut one down without losing money kind of thing. I'm organizing my life and my death the exact same way. It's really bizarre.
That's bleak.
Like I'm trying to run out of inventory technically at the same time I die. It is really bizarre.
That is so like utilitarian, and I really appeate it.
Yeah.
Like I have to clean out my apartment.
Run out of toilet paper on exactly that day.
Yeah. All right. So
That's
this is going to be.
I always say never pack the last roll.
This is gonna be Forrest. It's kind of like the heart mom tattoo, but it says monad on it. Yeah, I drew that, people, just so you all know. All right, now here's the other one that my partner and I made together. And let me find it real quick. Mine is, does anybody know the verse Jeremiah 23:24 of the Bible? Do y'all know that verse? Wait, what the fuck happened? Where did my, oh, I gotta go back to here.
No, I know the Bible about as well as I know metaphysics.
So basically the point of the verse is that no man can hide from God. So and I just decided I would.
What happened to free will?
Right. Yeah. No shit. But I thought I would take a creative.
God tells you what to do, but you have free will. But the devil made you do it.
Here's my creative approach to why no man can hide from God. So horrible. For those, it's we've drawn Jesus, and he has his hand over his eyes. They're playing hide and seek. But as you know, he can see through his hand because there's a big old hole in it from where they hung him up. So it's a picture of Jesus looking through the hole in his hand to cheat at hide and seek. So underneath it says never play hide and seek with Jesus. And I think this is going to be.
Did you draw that, Jimmy?
Yeah, my partner and I did. We used I'm not very good at drawing, but I am good at compiling things together. So I brainstormed a bunch of stuff with AI and used a lot of guides. But you will be able to tell when you get it with the brush strokes and stuff, because I know somebody's going to say, that's AI. It actually is not. That's us. Those are our brush strokes. Now, whether or not elements of it were like, I don't know how to draw a hand, so I'll trace it. I'll send you both if you want. You know, look,
okay.
I don't have a lot of charity in my heart, but somebody who's gonna
I'll make sure they get passed on to somebody else too.
And the funniest thing is that someone's gonna find those and go, "Who gets these mugs? Does anyone address?" Like, that's fucking hilarious, Bill. So definitely shoot me an email. It's Jimmy@QANAline.com. We'll get you, or Dear Mr. Atheist at Gmail. Either one is fine. But definitely do. All right. Well, thank you, Bill.
Wishing you the best,
thanks for bringing them out. Like I said, big fan of everybody. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep watching. I know I'm going to keep watching, Jimmy.
Watch wood turning videos, man. They're so much better than this garbage. They're so much better. All right, thanks, Bill.
You can watch Uncle Roger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Those are good. Yeah, hell yeah. We'll see you, Bill.
All right, y'all. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, later.
Didn't think we would have taken that topic that long, but Bill's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun and macabre.
Yeah, in the background, the conversations Dave and I have had in the past, Dave being our host of Dying Out Loud from the past, way worse. Way worse.
Yeah, with the dark humor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Much darker. Much darker. All right, well, I'd rather end on a high note, I guess, so that's the show. You got anything?
You haven't
seen Forrest yet. I just showed you Forests.
Because I wanna with Forrest tomorrow, and I'm very excited, and I hope everybody watches it. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central. Also, go subscribe to my channel. I'm so close to getting to 40,000 subs, and I can taste it, and it's probably not going to happen for a while still. It speeds up and then slows down with the sub count. So
I'd love it if the line would hit 200,000 before the year's over, but I haven't asked for that yet. So
you're
do that,
12,000 away. It's going to be a bit.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if you're like, guys, it's the big do.
Yeah.
People get excited. So I did show you guys already. I will show you again. This is fucking stay still, you absolute piece of shit.
I think people are not understanding that you guys actually created the art. You used AI for ideas generation, but the art itself was created by human beings.
Yeah, so we did trace elements because I don't know how to draw hands. So I definitely put a hand layer down where I was like, yeah, that's how the hand should look generally. The thing that is, but yes, every stroke was actually mine. But if people are complaining that we used AI at all, shut the fuck up. I give a fuck. I do
Y'all
not
still
care.
drive cars? I'm so tired of it.
You are on YouTube. You don't get it?
You're
Is
probably
that the
on
joke?
coal-powered electricity.
Is that you are literally, but YouTube is an AI powered platform, you absolute boobs.
Yeah.
Like fucking Christ. And if AI didn't exist, I would have just traced other people's work. I would have just stolen it directly.
Yeah.
Now I have the middleman.
Oh, it's the end of the show. My cat just died. If you want to donate to me at luxander.net/donate so that I can pay for his fucking cremation,
Jesus
that would be
Christ.
great.
Oh, okay. For the not just for kicks. Oh, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so the only ones I did were Forrest's and mine. I think most of the rest, or maybe all of the rest, no, most of the rest were done by Arden. However, Aaron's was done by himself and Justin's was done by himself, above and beyond.
When are they going public? Can we tease the people?
I'm going to probably give it to patrons at patreon.com/calltheline in the next day or two. And then everybody else starting Christmas.
So starting next week, Mug Brawl 2025.
I don't care. I don't know if the people whining are being ironic, but I don't care. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do. You can let giant companies put small companies like mine out of business by prohibiting us from utilizing AI tools, though.
Totally.
You can do that. You could virtue signal just the people whose feelings you can actually hurt and whose futures you can actually affect when they aren't the actual problem. You could do that.
I do think a lot of people do that. Yeah.
You can do that. Great job, leftist, with a question mark. That's the show. Sorry. Love you. Sorry. God, Jimmy's so self-righteous. I just thought I'd get ahead.